Metcalf was able to hold that, but they stayed with the puck back behind the net. Blue got it, took a chance out in front to Zeal with a tap in that will score. Parks out of the shotgun, takes the snap, stepping, looking, back shoulder fade to Mackey, and he catches it for a Red River touchdown.
It's time for the best in local sports coverage with KNOX Live Sports and News Radio 1310 KNOX.
Puck goes free to the high slot, picked up Lovejoy, wrister, and he scores. Reardon working right side, defended the entire way. A stop by Dookie. She looks into J.C. Reardon, the high-low is there.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Live Sports, presented by Rivard's Turf and Forage and Grand Trailer Sales.
Off to the right, down to the doorstep. Hoganson, a backhander, he scores. What a play for Griffin Hoganson.
Let's go live to tonight's presentation.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome downtown Grand Forks Central High School tonight, where we get set for our continuing coverage of Eastern Dakota Conference volleyball on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening. Joey Springer will be our videographer for tonight. And tonight we have a matchup inside the EDC featuring the Fargo North Spartans and the Grand Forks Central Knights. And for Fargo North, it's all about positioning in the Eastern Dakota Conference right now. In the middle of the pack, trying to keep themselves afloat, maybe have an opportunity to climb up to a number 5 spot in the league and give themselves a favorable first-round matchup and favorable position coming up in the Eastern Dakota Conference. And for Grand Forks Central, it's all about just trying to find a league win at this point. It's been a long year for the Knights, and they're going to go to a throwback style of uniform tonight to try to change things up with their luck throughout the course of the year. They'll change some numbers. They'll change their color scheme here this evening, taking on the Fargo North Spartans. Grand Forks Central looking for, again, their first league win of the season, their 5th league win overall. They're going to do it against a team from Fargo North that's got plenty of weapons tonight. As you take a look at the team that they bring in to the arena tonight, Audrey Rydell, Lucy Rydell, Anna Halverson, very, very good players up across the net, and Fargo North will play that hybrid 5-1 style, which can give a lot of teams a lot of trouble, and we'll see what happens with this one coming up tonight. But Central running out of chances to try to crack onto the leaderboard for that first victory of the year inside the league, and Fargo North, well, trying to take advantage of every chance they have down the stretch to put this thing away. The big storyline coming into tonight, when it comes right down to it, is the fact that there just isn't a whole lot of volleyball left in the Eastern Dakota Conference schedule. When you start taking a look at the teams, or rather what they have left in front of them, these teams in the EDC, here we are on the 14th of October, and after tonight, Grand Forks Central will have, it looks like, 5 matches left to go, so 6 chances left. They've got a 2-pointer with West Fargo Horace that's in there as well, and Central's going to finish the season with 3 matches on the road. Their last match is at home against a very good West Fargo team, so this might be their last opportunity to try to pick up a win as it comes down to their home schedule tonight. For the Fargo North Spartans, getting late in the season for them coming up as well, they're going to have Grand Forks Central here. They've got Red River, Davies, and West Fargo all at home before they finish with Fargo South coming up on the first week of November. But it's getting late in the volleyball season. There are some great seniors on this Grand Forks Central Knights volleyball team, and so when it comes down to the search, trying to find that first victory, you know that there are plenty of seniors that want to find a way to get a win inside the Eastern Dakota Conference, and with them getting ready to wrap up their home schedule, there aren't a whole lot of chances for the 9 seniors on this that are on this Grand Forks Central Knights volleyball team to play again at home. So tonight, probably some pride, a little bit of crossover uniform, trying to change things up, and certainly going up against a team in Fargo North that, although they haven't had a great win-loss record inside the league, they're a very respectable team coming into the arena. We'll bring it to you tonight courtesy of our premier sports partners. They include Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. You can find them online at rivards.com. And Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. And we'll bring you the coverage of this one tonight to include our pregame report. We'll have another of our player spotlights tonight from Grand Forks Central. Hallie Kohlmeyer will be joining us on our player spotlight coming up this evening, so stay with us for that. We'll have another chance to talk with another one of our players from Grand Forks Central in the matchup tonight. We'll also run down the starters that we have in this matchup. We'll take a look at the players to watch with our tools for the game and give you a complete rundown of the Eastern Dakota Conference standings as we come out of this one tonight. And get ready for volleyball downtown at Grand Forks tonight. Central at home hosting Fargo North. We'll continue with our pregame report brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment coming up in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and 4-H, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Will Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our #1.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX pregame show, brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values, driven by you, and Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight in the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. This evening, downtown Grand Forks at Central High School, where the Knights are at home to take on the Fargo North Spartans. Our pregame report brought to you this evening by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. A number of unique materials like wood or metal or plastic. They can work custom etching into and affix to any piece of clothing that you have. It looks different, it looks unique, and it pops. They've also got screen printing and the custom embroidery, and they can handle your vinyl signage as well at Signature Graphics and Apparel near the point on East Grand Forks or in East Grand Forks. And also brought to you tonight by True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley to serve what you're looking for. The home of those John Deere products that you've come to know and love generationally in our area. They have them for you at True North Equipment. Bringing you our pregame report tonight. Again, 10 locations to serve you. Well, as we dive into our matchup this evening, let's take a look at what's on the line tonight with Drive for the title. And we'll show you where these teams are coming into the evening. And you can see on your screen that Fargo North, a couple of matches behind the pace set by Fargo Shanley to be a top 5 team. That may not matter, but breaking the tie with Fargo South, that does matter if you're a Spartan fan. Right now, that number 6 spot, probably a little bit better spot to be in. There's a tie right now for 7th between South and Red River. And, you know, a lot of people that have watched high school sports throughout the years know that the thing you want to avoid is to be in the dreaded 3-way tie. However, Red River in that 3-way tie, their 2 wins have come over Grand Forks Central. And so there could be some position to be gained as far as being in that. But you want to stay out of the play-in matchup for sure if you're Fargo North. And that's why you don't want to stub your toe in a match that you're probably supposed to, or at least favored to, win. For Grand Forks Central, 4-20 on the year. Not yet a win inside the league. It's just a couple of chances to be back at home with your seniors, a couple of chances to play for some pride. That really is what's on the line in this one tonight for Grand Forks Central. So at 0-9, chances are very likely that you're going to be in the play-in. You're going to have to go on a big push down the stretch and get a little bit of help to try to avoid being in the play-in matchup. There's a possibility you could try to work your way up to hosting that play-in game. However, down 2 matches already to Grand Forks Red River, you'd have to overcome them, which means you got to win 3 down the stretch and get everybody else to lose out. So there's a good chance that Red River maybe going to host a play-in game. There's a good chance that Central going to be on the road in a play-in game. There's a possibility for Red River to get out of there. Certainly a possibility for Central to get out of that play-in situation or find another place to be, but it's going to take a big, big push down the stretch. Tonight, Fargo South is at Grand Forks Red River. You can see on your screen why that's a huge matchup tonight. One of those teams is out of the play-in game after tonight. Now, of course, there's more to go, but at least the standings at the end of the night would show one of them's not in the play-in. One is. West Fargo's at Fargo Shanley. Cheyenne is at Horace. That's going to be a good matchup tonight. And, of course, Fargo North is here. Davies would be idle tonight. But tonight, about pride for Grand Forks Central with those 9 seniors. And for North, there's a lot on the line. Somebody between South and Red River is going to get their 3rd win tonight. So if you're North and you drop this one, you know that you're going to be down at least in the number 7 spot in the conference. So is it must win? Well, it's obviously a matchup that you got to take care of business with when you're on the road tonight, and a matchup that you're going to be favored into at least be very competitive with. So we'll be watching that closely tonight. Those standings down on the bottom, you could see 3-8, 2-8, 2-8. A lot of things that could move around to that number 6, number 7, and number 8 spot in the Eastern Dakota Conference. And that is Drive for the title that we have for you this evening as we continue our pregame report tonight here on KNOX Live Sports from Grand Forks Central High School. It's the Knights and the Fargo North Spartans. When we come back, our player profile presented by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. We had a chance to sit down with Hallie Kohlmeyer from the Grand Forks Red River volleyball team. She will join us next to give us a rundown on what we can expect out of her team coming up tonight. So do stay with us. This is our coverage of high school volleyball. It's North at Central this evening on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
In Grand Forks, it's about more than just where you live. It's about the people you trust when life happens. At Logan Karski State Farm, we're proud to protect what matters most. I'm Logan Karski with State Farm, and we'd be honored to be your good neighbor.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto at Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Tonight from Central High School, it's Grand Forks Red River at home, 0-9 inside the league, taking on 3-8 Fargo North. Fargo North trying to stay out of a tie that they would drop into tonight for the number 7 spot if they were to drop the matchup. Grand Forks Central looking for their first win in the conference season. And our pregame report tonight is brought to you this evening by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening. Joey Springer, our videography work that we have for you tonight downtown in Grand Forks at Grand Forks Central. Again, today we have the opportunity to talk with another one of our players from the Central Knights as we continue our player profiles that we've had throughout the course of our season. It's been a lot of fun to catch up with the young men and the young women that make up the various teams in at Grand Forks, both at Central and Red River. Tonight's guest, Hallie Kohlmeyer from this Grand Forks Central Knights volleyball team, another one of those seniors that will go out there tonight. And she talks about how it's going to be a little bit sad when this run for the seniors comes to a conclusion, but at the same time, very excited about being a Grand Forks Central Knight. Our player profile tonight with Hallie Kohlmeyer of Grand Forks Central.
Hallie, I know it's been a long season, but we've seen some positive things from this team. So before we get to the meat and potatoes of everything we want to talk about, still optimistic, still feeling good? Is the team still together, getting ready for this stretch run?
Yes, we are still feeling very optimistic. I think something that's been really great is our team's connection and that bond we have. So I think we are still carrying on that fire throughout the season.
That's good to know. All right, so I'll talk about the matchup coming up here in just a little bit, but let's find out a little bit about you, Hallie. We like to go back in time as we start these opportunities and find out about maybe how you found your way into this sport, what it is that led you to volleyball, and if you would share a memory that you might have with us that kind of stands out from younger days of playing this game.
Yeah, so I kind of started volleyball back in 7th grade, playing Schrader volleyball. I think a big memory that I have is 8th grade. Actually, both of our Schrader teams, we ended up playing each other in the championship. And my team didn't win, but it was such a great bond just to see like 2 Schrader teams go head to head for one last match. Just a big group of friends like competing against each other, but just having a good time no matter who won in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Those are the moments that lure you into a sport and keeps you going with it. Now, let's talk about the academic side of things, Hallie. When you're in school, being the student athlete, tell us what it is that you like to study, what classes you enjoy, what might be a path for Hallie Kohlmeyer going forward.
So right now I am taking a math class, AP Calc, and that's actually been a big joy to take. There's definitely some struggles with it, a lot of homework to do, and that's something that you have to balance, but I've been really enjoying it, along with my psychology classes. Those have always been something very interesting to me. So I think that's a path I'd like to take in the future, down that psychology route.
Let me get this straight. Advanced placement calculus is a joy? That's a joy, Hallie?
Yes. I like the struggle a little bit, and try and help me navigate my way as I start to soon enter college.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that means you're biting off a big piece and you're enjoying it at the same time. I'm okay with that. All right. So when you're not spending your time in advanced placement calculus or playing a sport at Grand Forks Central, when you have some free time, hobbies, things you like to do to spend your time that's free, what do you like to do, Hallie?
Yeah, I really like just hanging out with my friends. High school is a big time to just spend time with the people that you really love. So we like to hang out, sometimes take little trips to Fargo, go shopping. I like hanging out with my sisters as well, too, who live down in Fargo. So just spending as much time with the people that I love.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's finish up with this. You have a chance this year to put the Grand Forks Central Knights uniform on. It's a shield that comes on, and obviously it's a big bonding thing that goes on with your team as well. So I wanted to ask you what it means to you to play volleyball with this group of players. A lot of seniors on this team, so I'm sure that's important. And then what it means to be a Grand Forks Central Knight to you, Hallie.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an honor to be able to go out there and play, and to just have so many fans that come to watch and to be able to put on a show for them. Playing with 9 seniors, it's a lot. These are some of my best friends. Being able to grow up with them since middle school and continue to play on a team into high school, it's a very bittersweet moment. There's the joys, but there's also the sadness that will come once this ends. And I think to be a knight, like, it just means to go out there and represent. We are optimistic, we are kind, and we put on a good fight.
You know, one of the wonderful things that we've had throughout the course of the year with our player profiles has been that our player profiles, our players involved in them have just been absolutely delightful all year long. They've just been wonderful people to talk to, and it's been a lot of fun to catch up with them, both the young men and the young women that we've talked to throughout the course of the year. It's been a really, really great opportunity to find out what goes into being a Central Knight, Red River Rough Rider. And it was fun, again, to talk with Hallie Kohlmeyer tonight as well. You can hear the positivity in her voice. And, you know, that's a team that hasn't had a ton of success this year. 4 wins without a win inside the EDC, but still keeping a very positive outlook on things. You really respect that. And it's been a lot of fun. Obviously, our coaches and our parents in the greater Grand Forks area doing something right to keep these players really sort of modest, humble, and at the same time a lot of fun to talk to. And that was Hallie Kohlmeyer with our player profile tonight. Our player profile this evening was brought to you by Acme Equipment and Acme Tools. They are your Kubota dealers to help you do your very best work. You can find their full line of Kubota products across from Simplot on Gateway in Grand Forks, whether it's scissor lifts, skid steer loaders. They've got great equipment for snow removal. Now's the time to start talking about that. And if you're looking for a do-it-yourself tool to finish off a project, their main tool shop, just a couple of blocks south of Gateway on North Washington Street, has any power tool you're looking for and a skilled service department to make them run again. Acme Equipment and Acme Tools, your Kubota dealers in Grand Forks, bringing you our player profile tonight with Hallie Kohlmeyer of the Grand Forks Central Knights. A break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the players to watch in this one and get a look at the keys for tonight's matchup. That as we continue with our pregame coverage this evening. It's the Knights taking on the Fargo North Spartans in high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
This is the KNOX pregame show. Brought to you by True North Equipment. True to your values, driven by you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. Make your vision come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports this evening from Central High School downtown in Grand Forks, where we get set for Grand Forks Central and Fargo North to have at it tonight in a matchup inside the league. Should be a fun one tonight. Ryan Cunningham, Joey Springer with you here for our coverage this evening. Let's take a look at the players to watch in this one as we continue our pregame report, brought to you tonight by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. The players to watch this evening, well, looks like we might have a little bit of an issue with that one here tonight. I apologize, folks. Let's go ahead and make technical adjustment. Boom, there it is. Our tools to watch this evening. Game tools brought to you this evening by State Farm Insurance. Logan Karski, your agent, brand new State Farm Insurance agent in Grand Forks. He's already joined the coaching ranks here in Grand Forks as well. Logan Karski has a great tradition in high school athletics from his time in the western part of the state, and now he's here in Grand Forks helping you put together the right game plan to protect home, auto, life, health, business. What you have that needs protecting, he wants to help you protect it at State Farm Insurance. For Grand Forks Central, J.C. Reardon right in the middle, Marley Euler on the outside. Those two together have been the tools for Grand Forks Central throughout the year. 170 kills for J.C. Reardon, 135 this year for Marley Euler, and Reardon with 42 blocks to go along with that. Sydney Tollefson has had a nice season blocking as well as killing. 49 kills on the year for Tollefson, but when you consider 29 blocks to go with that, Sydney Tollefson's had perhaps an underrated season, particularly on the defensive side. But for Fargo North, they've got plenty of weapons. Audrey Rydell, 155 kills on the season, 115 digs, and Anna Halverson, 140 kills, along with Lucy Rydell. And you've got a couple of players there that are playing all the way around for Fargo North tonight. When you're Audrey Rydell and you've got 150 digs on the season, that means you're playing front row and you're playing back row, you're playing all of it. When you're Lucy Rydell and you've got 50 kills along with 163 assists, that means that North is going to play kind of what we call that 6-1 lineup. When she's in the front row, she's going to be an attacker, but she can play in the back row as a setter as well. We know that Claire Carr will be the other setter that comes into the matchup, and that's been done really well. Those two together have combined for about 430 assists on the season, so they've got pretty good relationships going on between their two setters and the players that are going to be in the front row. And for Lucy Rydell to be doing all of that for Fargo North, and I believe Lucy Rydell, just a freshman, it's a bright future that she has for Fargo North. Those are the tools, the matchup that we have for you tonight, and our tools for the game brought to you this evening by State Farm Insurance. Logan Karski, your agent in Grand Forks. They're going to be announcing the starting lineups. We'll take a break for our national anthem. Then we'll come back with our look at our starting lineups that we have for you tonight. We'll also take a look at the keys for the game this evening, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey got started even tonight for the youngsters. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But right now, our national anthem. And we're back with more following our anthem with our starting lineups and the keys to the matchup here on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more in a moment.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports tonight from Central High School as we get set for our coverage of EDC matchup and an EDC action piece that we have here with teams trying to jockey for position down the stretch of the season. It's Grand Forks Central going up against Fargo North this evening here at Central High School, and we're glad to have you along for this one here tonight. Let's take a look at our starting lineups as we wrap up our pregame report, brought to you this evening by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life. And also brought to you this evening by our friends at True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you. For the Fargo North Spartans, who will be the visitors on the scoreboard here this evening. The starting defensive specialist this night will be Gretchen Snowden, a 5'5" sophomore, going to assume that she's going to start as a libero this evening. She's listed as a DS, and right now don't see a libero that's active tonight for Fargo North. There she is. Yep, she was hiding from us. And yes, Gretchen Snowden will start as the libero this evening. That means the starting center will be Claire Carr, a 5'6" junior tonight. Starting at the hitting positions this evening, first of all, at the outside spots, it'll be Nija Owens-Lee, a 5'8" sophomore tonight. Also at outside hitter, Meredith Platson, a 5'7" junior. Right side hitter tonight is Lucy Rydell, 5'7" freshman. The middles tonight, Anna Halverson, a 6'1" junior, and Audrey Rydell, a 6'1" senior. Rachel Hummel is the head coach for the Fargo North Spartans. Tonight for Grand Forks Central, they're going to be in different uniform numbers, so we'll pencil this in just about the best way that we know how here tonight based on what we received this evening from head coach Darwin Kasperitz. But we're going to see, first of all, starting at a setting position tonight, Rowan Olmstead, a 5'4" senior. The starting libero will be Piper Severson, a 5'3" senior. Tonight at the hitting position, Sydney Tollefson will start as the opposite hitter, a 5'8" senior. Also tonight at the outside hitter positions will be Marley Euler, a 5'7" junior. Tonight at an outside position will be Hallie Kohlmeyer, a 5'6" senior. And the middles will be J.C. Reardon, a 5'11" senior. And Alexandra Gowan, who comes in off the junior varsity bench, just a freshman tonight at 5'10" to play a middle spot this evening. And that is the starting lineup for Central under head coach Darwin Kasperitz. He's assisted by Lexi Stein. And again, a number of numbers changes tonight for Central because they went back to their throwback uniforms that they have for tonight. We'll take a look at our keys for the game coming up here. Brought to you by our friends at Jarrell Sports Center in just a couple of moments. First of all, though, Marley Euler serves. And we are underway with high school volleyball tonight. Right to the middle for Fargo North. And an attack coming in from Anna Halverson to get things started. Off the near side, one gets through, no touch from J.C. Reardon. Reardon ends up sending it through without the touch from Fargo North, and the Spartans will take a 1-0 lead in the matchup to get things started tonight. So 1-0 lead in favor of Fargo North, and the Spartans will make a change. Claire Carr does come into the back row as the Spartans are receiving serves, so Carr comes in to take over as that starting setter position and will put one into the net on a service error. Keys to the matchup tonight. Oh, we've got the wrong anime. Our apologies, folks. You know what we're going to do? We're going to step away. We're going to make sure we get the right one on that one. We were back a game on that situation. Serve on the way coming from Sydney Tollefson. It's be set up towards the far side. Halverson from the outside will score. And we'll see the first kill tonight for Anna Halverson. First kill of the night. And it will be 2-1 in favor of Fargo North. So 2-1 for the Spartans, and the Spartans will step back to serve. And the Spartans will send back Meredith Platson to do the serving. This works to Reardon on the outside, and we'll see a whistle. And I believe one of the Spartans stepped over the middle line. That's going to be the call. Audrey Rydell is going to be called for stepping over the middle line. So that call is made. And that will bring us to a 2-2 tie. And we'll see Grand Forks Central doing the serving. And the serve comes in from Brooklyn Strom, who steps into the back row to set. An attack and score for Audrey Rydell, getting her first kill tonight. All right, now let's take a look at the keys for the game. For the Fargo North Spartans tonight, brought to you by our friends at Jarrell Sports Center at Hockey World. Present multiple threats. Be balanced across the net. We've seen them do a little bit of that tonight. They've got maybe an extra weapon up there than Grand Forks Central does in blocking the middle. That's going to be a big part of the matchup tonight as we see a joust at the net, won momentarily by Audrey Rydell. Now ball back out towards the right side for Lucy Rydell. We play on, but those are the keys tonight for the Fargo North Spartans. Present those multiple threats, block the middle. Fargo North's keys for the matchup tonight brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. In the middle, Reardon sending one back over to Rydell on the outside. Another block from Central. They've been fairly good at sealing off that outside position tonight. Has Central's defense. Kohlmeyer will tip. This will work back row. Halverson hit one in the back row, and the point will go to Grand Forks Central. Keys the game tonight for the Grand Forks Central Knights in this matchup this evening. Dominate the middle. That's where they can really make their best hay. That's going to be tough against a very athletic front row from Fargo North, but you need a big night out of J.C. Reardon. And then dig. This is going to favor Central if they can continue to get the ball back up off the floor. Side outs are going to be the way Fargo North wants to go about doing this, terminating the ball. And there's another termination coming from Audrey Rydell for her second kill tonight. But for the Knights, digging is going to be a big part of it. And those are our keys for the game tonight, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. They've got every pad, every skate. They've got precision skate sharpening. If it's a tool for the hockey game, no matter the position, they have you covered at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. They bring you the keys for the game tonight. Lucy Rydell doing the serving. An attack by Marley Euler will score for Grand Forks Central. Euler's first kill tonight. That'll make it a 4-4 tie in the matchup on our All-True scoreboard. Our coverage of tonight's matchup is brought to you this evening by PS Garage Doors. Serving the area since 1974, the PS stands for perfect service at PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. In Grand Forks and Devils Lake, Marley Euler on the outside, a tip to the middle that will score. Marley Euler stepping towards the middle and scoring. We saw this in the Red River matchup. Marley Euler, although being listed as an outside, plays as kind of a quasi-middle. Likes to sort of cheat to the middle of the net and can get a little bit of extra elevation than you would expect from that 5'7" frame. From the attack line, a swat goes into the net from Fargo North's Lila Pladson, a 5'8" sophomore. Pladson putting one into the net off the far edge. North has been heavy on the outside position so far tonight. They really haven't gone to the middle offensively. They've swung to the right pin a couple of times with Audrey Rydell, but it's been an outside heavy night for Fargo North. To the right this time for Rydell, and that one dug back across for Central. It's a free ball, but they dig it through, and a tip on second contact coming off the right side. That will score for Audrey Rydell. Rydell will pick up her third kill tonight, now go to the back row. 6-5, Central leads by 1 on the All-True scoreboard. And Audrey Rydell steps back to serve for Fargo North. Tough serve. Central got it afloat. Be tipped back across by Severson, and a return from North is errant. Point will go to Grand Forks Central on the error. Sydney Tollefson coming up with the play on that one rather than Piper Severson. My apologies. Piper the libero tonight. Tollefson playing up in the front row. 7-5. Central takes a 2-point lead here in the opening set. And Hallie Kohlmeyer, who was our player profile guest tonight, is going to step back to serve for the Knights. Kohlmeyer standing ready. Line drive towards the right side. Pladson went down to get it. Stays back row. Rydell trying to split defenders. A dive by Kohlmeyer kept it afloat. That's what Central needs to do to keep those balls up tonight. Ball pushed back again towards the back row. The Knights with it one more time, but now this tight set to the net. Tipped over by Euler. North able to work with it. Rydell will send that back across. Knights play it out of the back row. Tollefson trying to attack. That's tipped, and it will be a kill for Sydney Tollefson. Tollefson comes up with her first kill tonight. And that'll make it 8-5 in favor of the Knights. A 3-point lead here in the opening set. Kohlmeyer, a great defensive play in that sequence to keep that play alive. And now an errant receive by Fargo North, not able to get into their offense. And Central comes up with a 9-5 lead as the Spartans have found themselves a little bit flat-footed here in this opening set of play. Serve on the way from Kohlmeyer. Good hard line drive serve. Picked up by Gretchen Snowden. This works to the outside. A play by Meredith Pladson, blocked by the Knights. Now they work off to the right. Lila Pladson sending one towards the back row. Knights ready. Euler going down the line. Rydell can't get to it. Marley Euler with 3. Central with a 10-5 lead after 15 rallies on the All-True scoreboard. The Knights looking strong here in the early going. Kohlmeyer serving again. Line drive, service error, the first of those tonight for either team. Well, the Spartans have been challenged here a little bit in this opening set. Let's see how Fargo North is going to respond to that challenge. Serve on the way from Gretchen Snowden, the libero. This will come back towards the right side. An attack by Euler. Touched, but Euler will get through it. Euler's got 4 kills already tonight for the Knights. And Grand Forks Central takes an 11-6 lead, and that's going to bring J.C. Reardon back into the matchup. So you take a look at how key that sequence was for Grand Forks Central. They did that damage and built a 5-point lead with J.C. Reardon on the bench. Marley Euler, a big part of it to go through that front row. Pladson a pass for Fargo North. Halverson from the attack line, down the line, and Central's beyond the middle line anyway. They'll make an errant step underneath the net. That violation will go against Sydney Tollefson. Takes a kill off the books for Anna Halverson and the opportunity to attack, but Halverson had a pretty nice swing at it. 11-7 your score. And Fargo North will have Claire Carr back into the action doing the serving. Kohlmeyer with the pass for Central. Reardon through contact. And this one will score for Grand Forks Central. Reardon's first kill tonight. Lead is back to 5 for the Knights at 12-7. And we'll see Sydney Tollefson going to the back row for Grand Forks Central to serve. Knights up by 5. We've got a whistle, and Central is going to be called for an overlap. Well, you don't see that on the service team very often, but something that our R1 Tom Stokey saw tonight that led to the service team being out of rotation. So an overlap against the Knights. And Fargo North will get it back. Meredith Pladson set to do the serving, and meanwhile, Grand Forks Central is asking for a lineup check. Head coach Darwin Kasperitz wants to find out if his team is in the right spots. It's a jersey night tonight for the Grand Forks Central fan base that's here. One young lady down there with a Mike Eruzione uniform from the Miracle on Ice in 1980. That's going back in time. You got to like the choice. Reardon down the line, scores it. J.C. Reardon, quick side out for Grand Forks Central. Knights lead by 5 at 13-8. And Central will bring Brooklyn Strom back into the matchup. Our player profile from last week when the Knights took on the Rough Riders here at Central. Strom serving, comes up short on that one. Second service error tonight for Central. And the night lead is cut to 4 at 13-9. Anna Halverson set to do the serving for the Spartans. Halverson standing ready, serve on the way. Line drive down the middle, good pass from Euler. Reardon into the net, however. An error against Central. And the point will go to the Spartans. Marley Euler stepping back, making a good pass on that. Reardon just not quite the swing she was looking for in the middle of the net. Spartans back to within 3 at 13-10. And Anna Halverson set to do the serving again. Tough pass coming from beyond the line, and Audrey Rydell will line up and kill that one. Piper Severson, the libero, had a tough pass on that. It was a good serve. Severson wheeled into an opportunity to pass, and that just floats back on a free ball. Rydell kills it. 13-11, Spartans are back within 2 on a quick run of serving from Anna Halverson. Halverson serving again, low line drive. Euler down to get the pass. Strom has to run to it. Stays in the back row for Euler. Now the Spartans working with it. They go to the front for Rydell again. Kohlmeyer got a piece after it lets off the net. Off to the far side, a tip coming back across from Alexandra Gowan. To the middle, errant set that time as North tried to target. Nija Owens-Lee ends up putting it in the bottom of the net. 14-11. Knights up by 3. And we'll see a switch again as J.C. Reardon will sit. Hallie Kohlmeyer will sit. And Grand Forks Central will run Julia Bybee into the matchup. Bybee will play through the back row and will serve. Long run to get back. This another tough pass. Rydell sending it back up front. Owens-Lee into the net. And that's going to bring us to our stoppage. It should. 15-11 your score. And as of yet, not getting our media stoppage here. Okay, well, so we'll keep it here. We're supposed to get our media stoppage at 15. We do not. Lead is 4 at 15-11 for Grand Forks Central. Tip off the near side for Lucy Rydell. Euler will run it down. Back towards the far side, Audrey Rydell gets through a block and scores her 5th. (15-12) your score. And Coach Darwin Kasperitz is asking for a media stoppage here also. And, well, he's told our officials that we're supposed to have a media timeout. They're just simply not listening at this point. Euler attacking and scoring. Big swing for Marley Euler on that play. Euler comes up with a nice swing for her 5th kill tonight. And we'll see our media stoppage. All right, we got it. 16-12 your score. Grand Forks Central leading by 4 on our Ultra scoreboard. We have a timeout brought to you by Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports tonight from Central High School. 16-12 your score. Grand Forks Central leading by 4 over Fargo North. Big night for Marley Euler. As we take a look at one of our plays that took us into the break, brought to you by American Family Insurance. Tyler Nagel, your agent in Grand Forks. Marley Euler playing from that outside position, just hard down the line for Grand Forks Central. One of the better swings tonight for Grand Forks Central and for Marley Euler. And the Knights take a 16-12 lead into our media stoppage. And Central trying to put their team back together out of the timeout. They had Sydney Tollefson coming to the bench, but I believe they realized that was an error. And the Knights will get Tollefson back in. 16-12, Central leading by 4. Audrey Rydell with a pass. This ends up with an attack from the far side for Lila Pladsen. Now back to Rydell from the outside. That will score. Audrey Rydell's had 6 kills tonight. Rydell will go to the back row as the Knights lead the opening set 16-13. Rydell with 6, but unofficially now the rest of the team for Fargo North with just 1. So when we talked about on our keys for the game tonight, presenting multiple threats, right now Audrey Rydell is leading the threat charge, but Fargo North's looking for a complementary player to continue the offense up front. 16-14, Rydell with an ace. And that cuts the lead back to 2 in favor of Central. Rydell serving again. Good hard bullet of a serve right down the middle. Second tip coming up from Strom on second contact. North gets to it. Big block up front. Marley Euler teaming up with Sydney Tollefson for a block, and Marley Euler with her first block tonight. Turns away an attack by Pladsen from the right side. North tried to turn their offense out to the right pin, and Lila Pladsen, who was not listed as a starter, has played a whole lot tonight for Fargo North. And certainly has looked like she belongs on the floor here tonight. She'll try again from the right pin. Kohlmeyer down to dig that up for Grand Forks Central. Euler swinging and scoring. Marley Euler again coming up with another big play for Grand Forks Central, and Euler has 6 kills tonight. And a timeout will be taken by Fargo North. So the Spartans will call for a stoppage. 18-14 on the All-True scoreboard. The Knights by 4. We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports North calling for timeout. Now back within 3 after a service error by Grand Forks Central, 18-15. Going into our timeout again, American Family Insurance, Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Marley Euler, she's had a big night from the outside pin. Here she is again, court wide and through contact for a winner. And Marley Euler gets another point on the board for Grand Forks Central. But here's a block by Anna Halverson at the net for Fargo North. Halverson comes up with a big block on a free ball that was coming back from Central. And just like that, out of the timeout, the Spartans are back within 2 at 18-16 here in the opening set. Gretchen Snowden will do the serving for Fargo North. Snowden serve on the way, passed back into a free ball. Halverson again, that one down. Grand Forks Central now beginning to struggle to execute a little bit, and Anna Halverson comes up with her second straight block of a free ball, or actually an attack on it. We'll give her a kill on this one. Ball back across, and Halverson very easily able to go up, record her third kill tonight, but a service error by North. Their first service error of the night will push the lead back to 2 for the Knights at 19-17. J.C. Reardon will come back onto the floor for Central. So Reardon back in, and Marley Euler with 6 kills and a block tonight will step out to the far sideline to serve for Central. It's an ace. Euler makes it 20-17 Grand Forks Central on the all-true scoreboard tonight. The Knights taking a 3-point lead, trying to stay on top in the matchup down the waning stages of set number 1. Big pass out of the back row from Gretchen Snowden on a tough serve. Lila Pladson off that right pin going to score. Knights struggle to get after that one. Lila Pladson comes up with a kill. And the Spartans are back within 2 at 20-18. So the Spartans will go back to serve. Claire Carr comes back into the matchup. 267 assists for Carr. Functions as kind of the mainstay setter. While we see Rydell in the front row, Lucy Rydell will also set. Ball on the outside. Here's an attack that gets through a touch from Meredith Pladson. She has her first kill tonight for North. Lead cut to 1 at 20-19. Again, Lucy Rydell, 206 assists on the year, but right now playing a front row position and would be an attacker in this matchup. Claire Carr will serve. Looping serve, Kohlmeyer down to get a tough pass. Marley Euler back to the net, has to send over a free ball. Halverson makes the pass, and a run up and miss by Pladson. She tried to tip and tipped it wide. Costly error for Fargo North, pushes the lead for the Knights back to 2 at 21-19. And we'll see Sydney Tollefson coming into the matchup to serve for Central. Good hard line drive serve. Taken up, sent back row. Rydell through a touch, scores it. Audrey Rydell with 7 kills tonight. Had a big first set. North back within 1 at 21-20. Knights led 18-14, and the Spartans have dug in. Meredith Pladson back to serve again for the Spartans. And Euler can't handle it, it's an ace. Pushes it to a 21-21 tie. On the all-true scoreboard, Fargo North digs themselves back into the matchup after falling behind by as many as 5 in the early going, 4 down the stretch. Pladson serving. A step into the pass by Euler, stays front row in an errant attack. The Knights will commit an error push run to the bottom of the net from Alexandra Gowan. Darwin Kasperitz, the head coach of the Knights, walking the far sideline. Not yet using a stoppage here. 22-21. North leading now for the first time as of late. And Pladson will continue to serve. Ball up front, Reardon tipping, scoring. J.C. Reardon finds a way. Third kill for J.C. Reardon. And that will take us to 22-22. So a very tight opening set that we have for you here tonight. I mean, this is going to be an interesting stretch of this opening set. Grand Forks Central will go back to serve. And the serve on the way from Julia Bybee. Step back to get to it for Snowden. Right pin, Halverson wide on the cross-court try. Central leads 23-22. Anna Halverson up and wants a timeout. Timeout taken by the Spartans as the Knights take a 1-point lead. 23-22, late opening set in favor of Central. Timeout for Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. More in a moment on KNOX Live Sports.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with Harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks. Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Brooklyn Strom back to serve for Grand Forks Central. Knights leading 23-22. Rydell changes that. Audrey Rydell with 8 kills tonight. And that'll tie it up at 23-23. She has been absolutely huge for Fargo North in this opening set. 8 kills. She's seen the floor extremely well. And it's now all even at 23 apiece. Anna Halverson back to serve. She's been a good server tonight for North. Line drive, let's serve. A dive kept it afloat from Euler in the back row. And Kohlmeyer will send it back. North a chance. Rydell again into the net. An error. And it's set point for Grand Forks Central. So the Knights have an opportunity to take home the opening set. It's been a hot and cold first set for Fargo North. When they've hit well, they have been top shelf. But when they have not hit well, they've had some struggles tonight. And we'll see Julia Bybee in to serve for the Knights. Snowden backing to the ball to get to it. Rydell skying high in the air, a block. North has it back, tipped over on second contact, into a joust at the net. That's one up front by Nia Owens-Lee. To the outside for Central, and a play out of the middle of the floor to keep this afloat. Rydell from the attack line sent it over. Run down back row by Severson, tip from Euler. Another step up, Claire Carr got to it. Rydell attack line pushing deep. Bybee made first contact, back off to the outside. A try by Marley Euler. Countered by Fargo North, and they miss-hit. Rydell out on the outside. Comes up empty on a swing, and Central will take home the opening set, 25-23. The Knights pick up a set 1 victory over the Fargo North Spartans, and will take a 1-0 lead into our second set. We have a timeout for Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks, and a timeout for Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region. We'll come back with a look at our first set highlights and more. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Sports.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Nothing feels or performs better than a properly fitted golf club. Whether it's irons, driver, or putter, call us today for your free club fitting. For over 30 years, the Golf Center in Grand Forks has been your club fitting leader.
Valley Truck in East Grand Forks is proud to support our local high school athletes. With over 400 years of combined experience, they keep our community moving on and off the field. Trusted repairs, quality parts, and support for the next generation.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
We very much take a lot of pride in our work. Customer service has always been our number one.
We have the best materials. You're going to have the best people in the area to do the job. If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Or head to gworkslf.com to get started.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new. Big or small, Finest Auto Trim can cover it all. To get a quote, go to finestautotrim.com.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball tonight in the Rivards Turf and 4-H Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports Central, with a win of the opening set, 25-23, as we take a look through our highlights on our intermission report, brought to you tonight by Grand Forks Welding and Machine and High Plains Water. Let's go back through it. Marley Euler with a great start to the matchup tonight for Grand Forks Central. Big reason why the Knights come up with a victory. Euler there hitting down the line and scoring for Grand Forks Central early in the opening set. Then in the interior of the opening set, Euler giving the Knights an 18-14 lead late that they would hold on to. Getting through a touch there. Euler had a big set with 6 kills along with a block and an assist, but it was not to be unmatched tonight. Here's Anna Halverson going up and eating up a Grand Forks Central 3 ball on the way back over. And then Audrey Rydell had 8 kills and an assist in that opening set. You could see here why. Just a hard attack, one of the better swings of the night. And those were
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
In Grand Forks. First set totals, Audrey Rydell with 8 kills and an assist. Marley Euler with 6 kills, a block, and an assist. And neither team really got a lot of the support they were looking for. J.C. Reardon, 3 kills for Central. Anna Halverson, 3 kills for North. But both teams sort of, well, even particularly Fargo North, maybe just a little step slow in that matchup. They've got more offensive weapons that they really didn't have a chance to work in. And Grand Forks Central kind of took advantage of it and won the opening set. So we make our way to set number 2. A dive by Severson. Tollefson tipping court wide. Be covered by Claire Carr. And a push court wide will score for Lucy Rydell and Fargo North. Rydell 68 kills on the year with 206 assists. She's a dual threat weapon. When she goes through the front row, she's an attacker. But when she's in the back row, she can do just as much setting. Right now, Claire Carr is the setter. And Carr will send this one across. Pass coming out to the near side for Euler. She's blocked. It stays afloat for Central. And Bybee will send it over from the back. This is set middle. Halverson winding up and scoring. And this looks like a little different fire for the Fargo North Spartans here in set number 2. Andrea Hummel from a pretty good female athlete family out of the West Fargo area. And she's going to get her team fired up when she has the opportunity to do so. Grand Forks Central, near side Euler down the line. That finds its way in. Marley Euler has 7 kills tonight for the Knights. J.C. Reardon will step in. It's 2-1. Fargo North over Grand Forks Central. The Knights leading a set to none on the All True scoreboard. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by All True. Regular screenings with All True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Olmsted will set Reardon. Gets through a touch. Covered back row that time by Gretchen Snowden. Back row attack. Rydell tips one through off the top of the net. Rydell with 9 kills tonight for North. That'll make it a 2-2, rather 3-1, my apologies. 3-1 matchup in favor of the Spartans. Serve on the way over from Meredith Pladsen. Be set right side. Tollefson from the right pin, tipping back across. Set towards the right. Push coming in from Lucy Rydell. Off to the near side. An attack from J.C. Reardon will catch the far line and score. Reardon with 4 going court wide on that one. And that will cut the lead to 1 at 3-2, with Fargo North still leading. And Tollefson going back to serve. Oh, that was a tough decision that needed to be made in the back row that time for Fargo North. Meredith Pladsen. She chose to play it. Might have gone deep. Knights with it, and through a touch, Reardon scores again. Reardon with 5. Knights come back to tie up Fargo North at 3 apiece. A lot of coaching going on here by the Fargo North coaching staff. One of those nights where maybe they haven't seen the game plan executed as well as perhaps they wanted to see it executed, and trying to redirect some of their players back to the right spots as Central commits a service error. That'll be the 3rd for Grand Forks Central tonight. Anna Halverson will go back to serve for Fargo North. Halverson ready, serve on the way. Euler reaching out to make the play on it. Reardon right side, through some contact, covered back row by Pladsen. Rydell getting through traffic. A dive by Piper Severson kept to the float. Reardon attacking. Halverson got down to make that play. Off the right side, little send across to Lucy Rydell. Back again to the right for Reardon. Actually from the outside for Reardon, now outside for Rydell. That one off. And the point will go to Central. As we mentioned, for Fargo North, it's hot or cold tonight. They haven't really pushed a lot of balls into a Central block. They've either found room and terminated, or they've committed an error. It's been kind of an up and down night for the Spartans hitting. Tied at 4 here in the second set. Serve coming across from Grand Forks Central's Brooklyn Strong. Fargo North returns it, kept alive out of the back row. Severson, the libero, has to free ball this over. Spartans with an opportunity. Rydell skying high and tipping. Rydell has 10. 10 kills for Audrey Rydell, and we played 9 rallies of set 2. I mean, the pace that she's on tonight is something rather extraordinary for Fargo North. 5-4 Spartans by 1 here in the second set. The trail was set to nothing to Grand Forks Central. Lucy Rydell serving. Kohlmeyer making the pass. Reardon through a touch and score. J.C. Reardon with 6. And after 10 rallies, we're tied at 5. And Central make a change. Avery Sparts, 5'10 senior opposite hitter, comes into the matchup. Sparts wearing one of those, we'll call them alternative numbers tonight. 8 different Spartans changed their jersey number tonight to go throwback night, for whatever reason. Off to the middle again, and Rydell has 11. Audrey Rydell with 11 kills tonight. She has been impressive. 6-5 your score. The Spartans take a 1-point lead back here in the second set. About the only thing that can keep Audrey Rydell from scoring in the front row is sending her to the back row to serve. And she's back there to do that now. Rydell's serve on the way. Piper Severson got down to it. Back set right side. Sparks tipping. Long run to get to it for Snowden. Stays back row. Rydell attacking. Severson was there. This will come back to the outside pin for Euler. Rydell digs it up. Push back right side and a block on Pladsen's opportunity. Standing, sending this over Lucy Rydell for the Spartans. Up front, Sparts attacking middle. Rydell the dig, comes back to the far side. Pladsen chipping one across, and Fargo North commits an error, steps across the line. Andrea Hummel is up and frustrated. Many times on this call, the conversation is that the entire foot has to go across that center line. It can't just be part of the foot. It has to be the entire foot. Lucy Rydell, or rather, Coach Hummel did not believe that the foot was across the line. But Central gets the point on the error. Rydell attacking, that's going to go long. Central goes back up 1 by a score of 7-6. 1-point lead for Grand Forks Central was turning into a real battle of attrition for both of these teams tonight. Julia Bybee will step back to serve, and now we've got a whistle as our officials working things out with the scorer's table on the far side. I'm not sure if a lineup check was requested. Tom Stokey, our R2, or R1 rather, has stepped down to the middle rung of the ladder. That usually means he sees something that he believes is going to garner his attention. And our 2 officials are going to have a conversation out in the middle of the floor. Timeouts brought to you tonight by Big Jim's Tire. They are the #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. And they're brought to you tonight as well by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. And Central going to determine their lineup here. The second time tonight that the Knights have needed a lineup check. And they may be awarding a point here to Central, or rather to Fargo North. Tom Stokey, our R1, has indicated that there might be something coming up that would give the Spartans a play here. Boy, this is a rather long conversation going on. Okay. And the indication is going to be they're going to have to change the scoreboard now, I would suspect, as well. Andrea Hummel is up off her seat on the bench for Fargo North. And they're going to have to address the scoreboard, and they reversed it to a 7-6 lead now for the Spartans. All right. Would appear that is mostly taken care of. Okay. And now the Spartans have to put their team back together due to the rotation. Okay, so they're ready. And Gretchen Snowden will go back to serve for Fargo North. Spartans now lead 7-6 after the Knights apparently out of rotation, but Snowden will commit a service error, her second of the night. Or rather, not her, but rather North's second of the night. And that will tie things up at 7 each. So 7 apiece between Grand Forks Central, Fargo North after 14 rallies of the second set. And Hallie Kohlmeyer will go back to serve for the Knights. Rydell down to make the pass. Halverson up front into the net, blocked. Big block up front that time coming from Grand Forks Central in the form of Sydney Tollefson. Tollefson with her first block tonight. And the Knights will take an 8-7 lead. Serve on the way, pass very near the net, and illegal contact coming up. Nope, illegal back row attack. Illegal back row attack on Lucy Rydell, who's in the back row, and Tom Stokey turns around. He and I talk about illegal back row attacks and what constitutes them all the time, and there's an ace that's going to be served up for Grand Forks Central's Hallie Kohlmeyer, and just like that, Grand Forks Central takes a 10-7 lead. The timeout's going to be taken by Fargo North. So the Spartans will call for timeout. 10-7 your score. Central by 3 in the second, leading a set to none. This is our coverage of high school volleyball. Timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. We're back with more next.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
When the lights go out, count on the pros. Bergstrom Electric in Grand Forks, the area's largest full-service electrical contractor. From commercial builds to homes, they're trusted for quality, safety, and award-winning work. Call today, 701-775-8897.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and 4-Edge Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports timeout taken by Fargo North as the Knights rip off a few in a row to take a 10-7 lead, and now Anna Halverson tipping into the antenna. Like we said, it's been that kind of night for Fargo North. When they've hit, they've had some great individual plays tonight, but overall the hitting has been streaky, to say the least. Halverson from the attack line for North, and a whistle. Now we've got one of the Knights underneath the net. Now, earlier tonight, Andrea Hummel, the coach of the Spartans, was asking about that particular call and how that's being seen. And all I can tell you is that we've seen that call far more tonight than we typically do as far as violating the center line. If you're touching the net, that's one thing, but violating the center line, getting that whole foot across, that doesn't happen very often in a night. We've seen it quite a few times already tonight. Now we've got a whistle and another against Fargo North, and Andrea Hummel is going to be unhappy about this. I mean, I think that's the 5th, maybe the 6th one of those that we've seen tonight. And in the time that I spent officiating volleyball, you might see 5 or 6 of those in a season. So the idea that 5 or 6 have been committed already this evening, all told between the two teams, that's a tough one to break down. And the official demonstrating to Coach Hummel that the foot turned, and that's why it was all the way across, because the foot turned. And Coach Hummel, I don't know if you would say that she's satisfied with the explanation, but she got an explanation. And now Audrey Rydell is going to come over and talk with Tom Stokey, our R1. And the way this works in volleyball is your captain comes over, talks to the R1, and then goes back and relays the information from R1 to the coach. All right, 12-8 your score, Central by 4. Here in the second set, Marley Euler will step back to serve. Taken by Audrey Rydell. Halverson from the outside attacking. Tough cover back row. Kohlmeyer got there. Rowan Olmstead pushes this back across. Now it's to the Spartans. Off the attack line, a block at the net. Rydell was able to keep it afloat. Works back to Pladsen on the attack line for Fargo North. Olmstead setting. Reardon off contact will score. J.C. Reardon with 7 kills tonight. The Knights take a 13-8 lead here in set number 2. If you're a Fargo North fan, time all of a sudden starts to work against you as far as sort of waking up and finding your footing in this one. And Central's playing loose and playing extremely well tonight. They've dug up a lot of balls as well. One of the things we talked about in our keys the game tonight, free ball coming back from Lucy Rydell, but Reardon mishits one into the net. I think she tried to tip and swing in the same motion. Lead is 13-9. 4-point lead for Grand Forks Central, and Fargo North will have Meredith Pladsen back to do the serving. Kohlmeyer making the pass for Grand Forks Central. Tollefson splits the defense and scores. Sydney Tollefson with another big play for Grand Forks Central. She's had a couple of them here in this second set. 4 kills tonight for Sydney Tollefson. She'll go back to serve. Knights now up by a score of 14-9. Tollefson hard serve. Snowden getting a pass on it. Rydell tipping hard to the middle. And this is going to be pushed wide by Grand Forks Central. And the point will go to Fargo North. Moment ago on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Sydney Tollefson doing a really nice job here for Grand Forks Central. Getting a quick terminator off that right side. And when you get right side scoring in matches like these can be the difference maker. Central receiving serve up 4. Reardon attacking the middle and scoring. J.C. Reardon will score her 8th. And we'll see a substitution here for Grand Forks Central as Brooklyn Strom will come back into the matchup. We had a timeout already, so that was our media. 15-10. Grand Forks Central leading by 5 here in the second set. And Brooklyn Strom will go back to set, and she'll go back to serve for the Knights. Serve on the way. Pushed back near the net by Pladsen. Rydell getting through. Touched at the net. Central has an opportunity. Reardon off a touch. Pladsen out of the back row for Grand Forks Central. Rydell from the outside. That's covered. A step in towards the middle for the Knights. Back row, Euler tipping towards the middle. Spartans caught but rally. Rydell from beyond the attack line. Piper Severson another dig. Off to the right. Sparts is blocked. Stays on the Central side from the attack line. Tip towards the middle of the floor for Alexandra Gowan. It can't be returned. Gowan will score. Alexandra Gowan ends up winning a spirited rally. Knights go up 16-10 here in the second set. This is the biggest lead of the night for Grand Forks Central. And the last couple of rallies have been Central playing well, not necessarily errors from Fargo North. Rydell gets a let off the net and scores her 12th. But, we've talked tonight about Fargo North's hitting not really being consistent. When they've been on, they've been really good. When they haven't been on, it's been tough. And they haven't really had a play that's just touched or stays afloat or dug up. It's been an error type of thing. But the last few rallies, Grand Forks Central's played very solid defense in the back row and pushed some things around. Reardon attack in the middle, Pladsen to Rydell, and Rydell will score in the back row. 13 for Audrey Rydell. Central's lead quickly checked back to 4 at 16-12 on the All-True scoreboard. And we'll see Lucy Rydell going back to serve for Fargo North. Rydell serving, Marley Euler stepping back to it. Kohlmeyer tipping towards the middle, that's going to score. Hallie Kohlmeyer comes up with a kill tonight. Our coverage this evening brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Grand Forks Devils Lake bringing you the second set tonight. PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for perfect service. They can service every make and model of garage door at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Central will serve. Julia Bybee does the serving. To the middle, Rydell, just all kinds of time, gets up and scores for Fargo North. Lead cut to 4 at 17-13. Now Rydell made her trip through the front row, and here's the real challenge for Fargo North. You've got to find a weapon. And right now, Anna Halverson on the bench. So this is an interesting arrangement for Fargo North's offense with Halverson over there. A tip by Grand Forks Central, the middle, covered. Off to the right, Pladsen will score. That's Lila Pladsen from the right pin. That's something Fargo North wanted to do early in the matchup. They struggled to find range there, but Pladsen finds it that time. 17-14, Fargo North back within 3. Rydell to serve again. Back row, Piper Severson turning into a pass. Set outside, Euler, court wide tip, found the far sideline. Euler with 7 for the Knights. Lead back to 4 for Central, 18-14. Central leading, won the opening set 25-23. And they lead 18-14 here in the second. Piper Severson back to serve for the Knights. Good hard serve. Snowden was there to make the pass. To the middle, Owens Lee has to send this back across. Knights ready, but they end up with an errant situation as well. Gowan has to save a ball with the left hand. Pladsen attacking. Dug up back row by Bybee. Kept afloat to the attack line. Severson will send this over. Rydell with a pass. They'll set Pladsen from the outside. Severson another dig. Now Strom setting near side. Down the line, Euler will score. Euler scores her 9th. Lead back to 19-14 in favor of the Knights. And if Fargo North doesn't come up with a side out here, Andrea Hummel may be forced to use her second timeout for the Spartans. 19-14, Grand Forks Central leading by 5. Serve on the way from Severson. Tough play for Snowden. She got to it. Pladsen swinging away, found the back line. Meredith Pladsen, her second kill, swinging from the outside pin. Halverson back into the matchup for the Spartans. That gives them a big offensive threat returning to the front row. Gretchen Snowden will go back to serve for the Spartans. Lead is 4, 19-15 Central. Marley Euler making the pass for the Knights. Wants it back. Didn't get what she wanted out of the set. Free balls it over. Halverson didn't have what she wants either. Tips. First contact from Tollefson. Euler from the attack line. Strong to the back row. Rydell there. Pladsen from the outside. A tip. Strom first contact. Severson trying to set Euler into the net. First contact coming from your setter puts you out of rotation. Your libero has to try to set. That's a tough play for the libero to set. You can't set a front row player open-handed if you're the libero, so you got to try to do it as a pass. Snowden sending one over. Euler able to make first contact. Has her back to the net, has to send it over free ball. Snowden, good play. Up front, Halverson attacking, scoring on the far side of the floor. 5 for Anna Halverson. And the Spartans dig in and cut a 6-point lead to 2. 19-17 on the all-true scoreboard here in the second set. The Knights leading a set to none. And Gretchen Snowden will serve again. That one going to go long. Service error by the Spartans. 20-17, but that's sparked by Fargo North. preserves a timeout for Coach Hummel. Rowan Olmsted will come back into the matchup. Hallie Kohlmeyer will go to the back row. So Kohlmeyer will step back to serve for the Knights. Good hard line drive serve. Platson, though, makes a good pass of it. Halverson from the outside, whistle. And boy, the Knights are over the net again, or over the center line again. Oofta. We have just seen that call so many times tonight. 20-18 your score. And Claire Carr will come back into the matchup for the Spartans. Carr will do the serving. Carr stands ready. And Piper Severson makes the pass for Grand Forks Central. Tollefson swinging away into a free ball. The Knights didn't know what to do with it. It's off to the right side. This will be sent back across, I believe, by Olmsted. Off to the right pin for Fargo North. Sent back over. And the attack coming from Euler that will find room off a touch. Marley Euler's got 10. Central takes a 21-18 lead in the second set. J.C. Reardon will come back into the matchup for the Knights. Marley Euler, the hottest hand tonight in the back row to serve for Grand Forks Central, but J.C. Reardon has come on strong as of late. And she returns to the front row for the Knights. Euler standing ready. Serve on the way. Good hard line drive serve. Rydell there. Set to the outside. A tip coming from Lucy Rydell. Olmsted returns on second contact. Caught the Spartans off guard, but a good play by Pladson to step off and send over a free ball. Central, Reardon off a touch. Covered. Claire Carr was able to make the play. Pladson from the attack line scores and gets through. Meredith Pladson with her third. Knight lead challenged back to 2 at 21-19. And Meredith Pladson will go back to serve for Fargo North. Pladson ready. Audrey Rydell back to the front row. That's key for Fargo North in the situation. Reardon tipping around a block. Claire Carr came up to cover it. Rydell on the attack line through traffic and scoring. Rydell has 15 kills for Fargo North tonight. Timeout taken by Grand Forks Central. The lead is cut to 1. 21-20 Fargo North on the All True scoreboard. We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Nelson Auto in Grand Forks is proud to sponsor area athletics. We know the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto in Grand Forks, home to Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Timeout taken by Grand Forks Central as their lead, which was 1-6, is down to 1 here in the second set. 21-20. Grand Forks Central leading the matchup, a set to nothing. Olmsted tipping on second contact, and I think the Spartans wanted a violation there. Ball stays afloat for the Spartans, and Lucy Rydell, actually correction, Audrey Rydell turning into her 16th kill. It's hard trying to figure out what Central's doing here. Rowan Olmsted, I don't believe, is a front row player. I believe she's a back row player. And Fargo North was upset on that play from Rowan Olmsted. They believe she attacked the ball over the net, back row player, all the things, but didn't get the call. We're tied at 21. Hallie Kohlmeyer with a pass. Olmsted setting. Reardon got through a touch. That's going to score. J.C. Reardon with 9. 22-21 here in the second set. A photo finish coming up here between Grand Forks Central and Fargo North. Serve on the way by Tollefson. It's an ace. Huge moment for an ace for Sydney Tollefson. Fargo North has a timeout left to use. Andrea Hummel going to use it. Coach Hummel will call a timeout, 23-21. Central back up by 2, later stages of the first. We have a timeout for Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel. More in a moment on KNOX Live Sports.
Hey, this is Pastor Paul. I'd like to welcome you to Hope Church, especially if you're a person that doesn't have a place where you hang out spiritually. We would love for you to come and experience hope and find God. Hope Church, 9, 10:30, and 6 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, you can check out gfhope.org.
Pick 6 for $19.99, a perfect meal for two.
That's gotta rhyme.
Well, how about munching on Pick 6, my mouth going yap, yap. People always staring at my wings, they go flap, flap. Dave is so surprised because he didn't know I'd rap. Pick 6 meal for two for $19.99.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball. 23-21, Grand Forks Central leading by 2 in the second, leading a set to none over Fargo North tonight. Sydney Tollefson just served up an ace. Fargo North ready. Rydell, a touch from Grand Forks Central to keep it afloat. Olmsted sets Reardon, back tipping with their left hand. Back to Rydell on the outside for Fargo North. Kohlmeyer a save, Euler another. Reardon sends over another free ball. Snowden trying to set Rydell. She's the option right now. Reardon goes down to dig it up, stays on the attack line. Another free ball to return. Set middle this time for Halverson, a tip. A step up for Kohlmeyer to get to it. Reardon trying to tip outside. This time covered by Claire Carr. Rydell from the attack line going through traffic. Tollefson with the dig. Up front, attack by Gowan, blocked into a joust. Reardon tips back row and scores on the far sideline. J.C. Reardon scores her 10th, and it's set point for Grand Forks Central as the Knights take a 24-21 second set lead. And Sydney Tollefson to serve. Line drive, Snowden the pass. This comes to Rydell, hit it into the net. Central takes a 25-21 win in the second set and goes up 2 sets to none on Fargo North tonight. The Spartans in some trouble at the hands of the Knights here in downtown Grand Forks as we make our way to the third. Intermission report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. We're back with more in a moment. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
It's game day, and whether you're feeding the family or the entire team, Hugo's is the place to go. Score big with favorites from the meat department, delicious fresh veggies, and don't forget about the bakery to celebrate the big win. Hugo's Family Marketplace, your game day headquarters.
Thief River Glass handles it all. Aluminum storefronts, auto glass, windows, shower enclosures, and more. Just like our athletes, we're built for every season. No job is too big or too small. Call 218-681-1333 for year-round dependable service.
When you're looking for a change of pace, a change of routine, or a change of scenery, we'll help you find what's next. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For you, for life.
Ready to launch your future? At Northland Community and Technical College, opportunity starts here. Train for high-demand technical and skilled trades or start with an affordable Associates of Arts degree and transfer with ease. Visit northlandcollege.edu.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
For expert sales and service, visit Acme Equipment or online at acmekubota.com.
H&S Electrical Services is proud to support local high school sports. From homes to industry, we deliver safe, reliable electrical solutions. Locally owned and operated, our skilled team ensures quality and service you can trust. H&S, trusted in your homes and businesses.
We'll go to the third intermission report brought to you tonight by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Grand Forks Central looking for their first win of the season in Eastern Dakota Conference play. And the Knights have a 2-0 lead over Fargo North and the Spartans after a 25-21 win in the second set, following up a 25-23 win in the first. Let's go to our highlights brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. And Sydney Tollefson, an ace, couple of big kills for Grand Forks Central to give the Knights an extra weapon that Fargo North had to account for. Here's a block by Tollefson at the front row that gets things started early in that opening set. And then later in that set, it was Sydney Tollefson finding a way to score from the right pin for Grand Forks Central. Really twisted around Fargo North's defense. A block a little late to get out there when they saw where the ball was going. And we've seen Sydney Tollefson with a couple of big plays in that second set. Intermission report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. The men of steel throughout this harvest season. Broken or twisted shafts, holds that need tightening, they have you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Make sure you stay on target and keep things moving. Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the men of steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. Get the taste in, get the chemicals out with a great tasting drink of water from High Plains Water. One of their systems can show you how to make your appliances last longer. You're going to save money on your appliances as well, because when they last longer, that's going to do one thing. When you can get cleaner laundry with less detergent, that's another thing. And great tasting water, which means you'll drink more, from High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. So we'll go to the third. Marley Euler will serve for Grand Forks Central, with the Knights leading by a score of 2-0 to start this third set. Stays in the back row, and Snowden and Rydell struggle to communicate. Ball lands, point to the Knights. It's 1-0. Again, Central looking for their first win in the Eastern Dakota Conference. You see them bottom of the pack at 0-9. North at 3-8, trying to stay out of some very interesting tiebreaker scenarios in the lower half of the EDC. Halverson from the outside. Central can't dig it up. Halverson's got her 6th kill tonight. Halverson, Rydell, just great offensive weapons. I mean, that's a duo that almost any team in the league would love to have in their front row. But for whatever reason, things haven't materialized well tonight. A little change in the lineup here perhaps for Fargo North. They're going to play together in the front row. Rydell gets a piece of a block here. Central going to send one over on a free ball from Marley Euler. This will be set back to the right pin for Halverson. Kohlmeyer dives out of the back row to keep it afloat. Reardon tipping towards the middle, and that will score for J.C. Reardon. Reardon 11 kills. And the Knights take a 2-1 lead here in the third. Sydney Tollefson served up a big ace back in the second set. This time Snowden a good pass. This comes back to Rydell. Big hammer and kill for Audrey Rydell. 17 kills tonight for Audrey Rydell, and Rydell has been everything for Fargo North. That's the type of play that just shows you the top-end capability that she has. Anna Halverson will go to the back row to serve for the Spartans. It's 2-2. Here in the third. Halverson service error. 4th of the night. Before that, the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Watch this termination from Audrey Rydell. This barely clears the attack line. I mean, that 3-meter line just not really a factor for Audrey Rydell. When she gets a good set and is at the top of her leap, she can do a lot of things. This back set to the right side. Attack coming through that time for Lucy Rydell. Kohlmeyer returns it for Grand Forks Central on a free ball. Back to Rydell into a block that comes back over. J.C. Reardon teaming up on the right side with Marley, rather not with Euler, but Alexandra Gowan, the freshman. And Reardon comes up with her first block tonight. Gowan comes up with a block also. Central takes a 4-2 lead, again shutting off that outside pin. That's one thing about North tonight. They've been heavily reliant on the outside. This time Rydell's in the middle, and Euler comes up with a cover. Kohlmeyer will tip middle. Claire Carr making first contact. Off to the far side, Rydell. Again from the outside pin, again touched by Central. Euler a back row attack. Pladson making first contact. Rydell again from the attack line. Piper Severson digs it up. Strom comes out to set Kohlmeyer. That goes into the net. Point to the Spartans. And that will make it a 4-3 matchup in favor of Grand Forks Central over Fargo North. So a 4-3 matchup at this point. Serve on the way over. Knights get to it. Reardon mishits one. That's one thing we haven't seen from the Knights very much tonight as well, has been errors. They've played rather error-free. They haven't made a lot of hitting errors tonight. When they've had an opportunity to swing, they've forced Fargo North to at least make a play. That's maybe been an overlooked factor in this matchup. Lucy Rydell serving for North. It's a let serve. Kohlmeyer got to it. Be back set to the right pin. Gowan standing and waiting. Ball sent back towards the middle. Off to the right, Lily Platson trying to tip around some contact. Severson there, Reardon trying to roam the middle. A dive covered the middle. Back to Platson on the right. Brooklyn Strom, first contact for the Knights. Stays on the attack line. Kohlmeyer stepping into the play. Meredith Platson off to Rydell. Court wide winner that's going to score for Audrey Rydell. 18 kills for Rydell. North takes the lead here in the third set, 5-4. Well, if you're Fargo North tonight, I guess that's the way this thing's going to go. You're just going to ride the outside. It's what's working when it does work, and you're either going to have to do it enough as this one clears the back line for a service error by the Spartans. You're going to have to do it enough to really open something up somewhere else, because the Knights are coming after you with a double team block and that outside pin every time. I mean, Central's defense is really sold out trying to cover that position from Audrey Rydell. And Fargo North just hasn't found a way to get the rest of the team to take advantage of what Central might be giving up. Rydell making a pass, stays back row. Up front, Lily Platson, net long. Point goes to Central. Knights take a 6-5 lead. Another part that's plagued North early, although they started to clean it up a little bit at the end of the second set, the errors. They made a few less hitting errors as of late. They struggled with that in the opening set. This time net contact was made. Oh, they're going to call the double against Fargo North. Okay. I thought perhaps one of the Knights touched the net in the middle of the net. And Andrea Hummel, I think she might have thought that as well, but Fargo North is called for a double, sending the ball back to Central, and Central takes a 7-5 advantage. Up front, Rydell tipping and scoring. 19 for Audrey Rydell. Now this will be the challenge for Fargo North. Audrey Rydell to the back row, Anna Halverson on the bench. This is where Fargo North needs to find an option, and now we're going to see a whistle, as apparently our R1 Tom Stokey had not yet given Rydell permission to serve the volleyball. Audrey Rydell says, "I'm sorry." Somebody needs to tell Audrey, never apologize. Never, ever, right? No, I'm kidding. Audrey Rydell to serve. 7-6, Grand Forks Central leading by 1 here in the third set. Piper Severson back to get a pass. On the line, it's Gowan tipping back across. A step back by Snowden. Tip on second contact's going to score for Fargo North. Sent over by Lucy Rydell, the setter. Second contact tip. That ties it up at 7 apiece. 14 rallies into this third set. Grand Forks Central returning, and a big play down the line, but Euler mishit it. Marley Euler comes up empty trying to target the line, and it's 8-7. Fargo North reclaims a 1-point advantage. Audrey Rydell set to serve. Line drive serve, tough pass for Marley Euler, ace for Rydell. Her second ace tonight. But Fargo North takes a 2-point lead, and we can see Darwin Kasperitz perhaps believes that the momentum's slipping. He'll call timeout for the Knights. 9-7, North leads by 2. Central leads the match 2-0. Timeout for Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. More coverage of high school volleyball next.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
Timeout taken by Grand Forks Central. Fargo North leading 9-7 on our all-true scoreboard this evening here in the third set. The Knights lead it 2-0, and a service error by Audrey Rydell will cut the lead to 1. Timeouts brought to you tonight by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks, and brought to you this evening as well by our friends at True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you in Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Grand Forks Central returning. Euler tipping deep. Rydell, tough play in the back row. Pladson getting through the touch and scoring for Fargo North. Meredith Pladson with 4 kills tonight. You can see where North expects to get other production. Lucy Rydell, 68 kills. Meredith Pladson, 53 coming into the night. But tonight they've combined for just 5. Lead is 2 for Fargo North at 10-8. Tough serve. Central trying to save a ball at the net. Tollefson will push one over. It's in the middle for Halverson. Down. Anna Halverson with her 7th. Lead is 3 at 11-8 in favor of Fargo North. Spartans haven't had a big lead. This may be the biggest lead that Fargo North has had throughout the course of the night. Gretchen Snowden ready to serve. Back row taken up by Julia Bybee on the pass. No one went to it. And now Grand Forks Central beginning to lose a step. They were so good in the in the late second set. Moved their feet, moved around. They were quick. And right now a little puzzled as Fargo North begins to play loose and with their backs to the wall. 12-8. Fargo North by 4. Back set right pin. Gowan swinging towards the back row. Rydell able to dig it up. Pladson tipping. A step forward by Euler to cover. Back to Euler just above the attack line. Tries the middle. North able to cover it to the right pin. Lila Pladson back towards Bybee in the back row. And now Euler again for Central. Got through contact up front. Set middle. Halverson mishit it wide. Point will go to Central. Vegan Construction Look-In brought to you tonight by Vegan Construction Designers, Builders, Engineers. Nearly a century of quality work in the northern Red River Valley with Vegan Construction. The Knights win the first 25-23, the second 25-21. Fargo North has not had a big lead until tonight where they've led by 4 here in the third. And Anna Halverson with an error will cut the lead back to 2. 19 kills for Audrey Rydell. 11 tonight for J.C. Reardon, 10 for Marley Euler for Grand Forks Central. That's your match look-in, brought to you by Vegan Construction. 12-10 your score. Rydell from the back row got through a touch and scores. And Audrey Rydell with 20 kills tonight. Spartans push the lead back to 3 at 13-10. You can tell the heat's getting down on the sideline. Greg Carlo, one of the assistants for Fargo North, took the sweatshirt off early second set. Now Andrea Hummel has taken the North sweatshirt off early third set. There aren't a lot of people here tonight. I think that just a little stress beginning to peer in here. Claire Carr ready to serve for Fargo North. Piper Severson reaching out to make the pass. Euler from the attack line. Snowden digging one up. Rydell from the back row owns everything. 21 for Audrey Rydell. Boy, when you get this kind of play out of the back row from Audrey Rydell, the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, just Rydell running, has the whole floor in front of her. That tall, athletic frame that she has, and then the ability to keep her eyes forward and pick a spot. That's just talent. You can't really coach that skill when you have the ability to keep your eyes forward and look down the floor and pick a spot that you want to target and then hit it. Euler from the outside. Rydell digs that up. Ball stays with Pladson on the outside. Kohlmeyer out of the back row for Grand Forks Central. Tipped over. Back row again for Rydell. This one long. Rowan Olmstead trying to target the middle for Central, and Rydell will commit an attack error. This will bring J.C. Reardon back into the matchup. So J.C. Reardon comes into play for Grand Forks Central, and the Knights could use a bunch of J.C. Reardon right now in the middle. Euler serving. Snowden, good pass. Halverson from the outside pin. Kohlmeyer went down to get that. Stays on the attack line. Severson will send it over. Fargo North back setting to the right. Halverson around traffic. Euler sent it near the seats. Kohlmeyer saved it. And Euler with her back to the net. Big free ball save for Grand Forks Central. Pladson off to the far side of the floor. Sent it court wide on a free ball. Now Central with it. Reardon from the outside. Snowden able to track that down. Back row to Rydell. Blocked perhaps. Whistle. They're going to call 4 contacts? Oh, they are. 4 contacts coming up against North, and here comes Audrey Rydell to talk with our R1, Tom Stokey, again. Whistle came a little bit late. There was a blocker there in the form of Sydney Tollefson. So North perhaps thought that ball was blocked and play should have continued. And Audrey Rydell comes over and gives the explanation to Andrea Hummel. No reaction from Coach Hummel. Lead cut to 2 at 14-12. And now we'll see a step back from Marley Euler and a serve. Sidewinder serve, tough pass. Pladsen keeps it in the back row. Halverson up to the attack line, tipping middle and scoring. Anna Halverson with her 8th kill tonight. And the Knights the Spartans take a 15-12 lead. Meredith Pladsen will step back to serve for Fargo North. Pladsen stands ready. Serve going back. Kohlmeyer makes the pass. Olmstead back setting Tollefson. Right pin blocked. Tollefson sends it over on second contact on the return. Now it's Rydell up front off the net. Reardon goes down to save that for Central. Stays back row. Kohlmeyer will tip towards the middle. Back set towards the right side. Rydell having to step back and miss hit the line. I think Rydell expected one towards the net. And the set came back beyond the surface on the far side along the attack line. The error cuts the lead to 2. 15-13, North on top. And a service error from Sydney Tollefson, the 4th tonight for Central. Lead back to 3 for Fargo North at 16-13. Nia Owens-Lee comes back into the front row. And Anna Halverson will go back to serve for the Spartans. Halverson stands ready. Let's serve ace. Now some breaks beginning to go Fargo North's way. Anna Halverson serves an ace that hits the tape and flops over. The lead is 4, 17-13 for Fargo North. Central leads the matchup by a score of 2-0, 25-23, 25-21. Halverson serving, service error, that one long. It's number 7 tonight for Fargo North. Lead trimmed to 3. If you're the Knights, this is a key sequence here. Down by 3, you can't afford to side out. You've got to come up with something here, especially with Audrey Rydell's position off the floor. At this point, tough pass, but Halverson got enough of it. Actually, Rydell got enough of it. Rydell in the back row, my apologies. Up front, and a tip by Reardon that's going to go over a block and score. Reardon attacking, not really a tip, but certainly put some air under that and tried to target the back row. And the Knights cut the Spartan lead to 2. I missed on Rydell, didn't see her out there. She's out there right now, back receiving serve at this point. She's still a front row player right now, though, for the Spartans. Snowden stepping back. This comes back to Rydell on the outside, defeats contact and scores. Rydell with 22, and that just shows you what you can do. Fargo North didn't really get the play that they wanted on serve receive there, but there was enough for Rydell to work with essentially a pass to her, and she was able to attack and score. Lead back to 3 at 18-15. And this serve falls in for an ace. Lucy Rydell with an ace for Fargo North. Central's maybe felt a little bit of pressure here after taking the 2-0 lead. And they played a little complacent here in the third. And North's taking advantage. Rydell will serve with the Spartans up 4. Euler making the pass. Set middle, Reardon through a touch and scoring. J.C. Reardon with 13 for Grand Forks Central. Reardon will step off as Julia Bybee comes back into the matchup for the Knights. If the Knights are going to sweep, got to find something here. 19-16 your score. Fargo North on top by 3. Set, Rydell outside, tipping. This time the tip covered by Euler. Back set, right pin, Gowan attacking the back line and scoring. Alexandra Gowan with her 2nd kill. This is a huge rally right here. 19-17. The Knights have been able to cut it to 2, not to 1. Do they have enough to try to change a little momentum in this situation? Serve on the way, floating back row, Snowden back to get it. Stays on the attack line, Pladsen mishit it. Knights back within 1. Andrea Hummel off the bench for Fargo North, not using the stoppage as of yet. 1-point lead for Fargo North here in the third set with Central up 2-0. Serve on the way. Low serve. Snowden gets to it. Ace. Julia Bybee serves up an ace for Grand Forks Central. And a timeout will be taken by Fargo North as this one's all even. 19-19 on the All-True scoreboard with Central leading 2-0. Timeout for Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. Our coverage of high school volleyball continues next on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball. We're tied at 19, and a serve for Grand Forks Central that goes before the go-ahead from our R1, Tom Stokey. We've had that happen a few times tonight. 19-19 here in the third. Central leading 2-0, and the Knights will serve with Julia Bybee stepping back to serve. Bybee serves, and Rydell makes the pass. She wants it back on the outside pin. Got over. Euler keeps it afloat, then attacks the middle. Covered back row by Claire Carr. A tip. And Brooklyn Strom went down to get it for Central. So we pushed back over off the far side by Sparks. Rydell again. And a pass sent it back across the net. Fargo North taking advantage of the free ball. Rydell standing and attacking and able to send one towards the back line, but a big dig by Piper Severson kept it afloat. Rydell again from the outside, blocked. She covers her own block, tipped on second contact. Severson covered it, could have been a double, didn't get called. Will stay alive. Rydell tipping, going back line. That's covered by the Knights. Back to the right, getting through is, Sparks. And Sparks will score for Central. Wow. Violet Sparks stepping in on the right pin and scoring a kill for the Knights. And the Knights take a 20-19 lead over Fargo North here in the third set. That's a huge rally for Grand Forks Central to win out of the timeout. And we'll see Bybee serving again. Pass coming from Pladsen. Rydell tipping. Another cover towards the middle, that time by Euler. Euler wants to push. Pladsen has to put her back to the net, but keeps it afloat. Rydell from the outside, touched. Piper Severson a dive to keep it afloat. Euler again sending one line on a free ball. This will come back to the right. Pladsen tipping to the middle. This time Severson makes the pass up front. Sparks attacking strong. Correction, it was Gowan that attacked and sent it long. Ties it up at 20 apiece. J.C. Reardon with her rotation right now on the bench. Knights looking for some offense in this situation. We'll see Audrey Rydell going to the back line to serve. This puts her in the back row. Euler getting through a touch up front. Pladsen there. Set. Owens-Lee trying to tip. That kept alive by Euler, pushed by Strom, and a double coming up against Central. And the lead will go to Fargo North at 21-20. The Knights have used, I believe, both of their timeout. I believe they've used one timeout. Audrey Rydell back to serve again for the Spartans. Line drive serve. Severson went down to get it, and a huge play to the net that just didn't clear it. Out of the back row for Julia Bybee, and now the Knights will call for a stoppage as Fargo North cracks the tie, actually comes from behind to take a 22-20 lead late in the third. Timeout for the Knights, 2-0. Central North leads the third 22-20. We're back with more in a moment.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics, we craft your vision, you watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
22-20 your score. Grand Forks Central trailing Fargo North by 2 here in the third. The Knights lead 2-0. Audrey Rydell serving. Piper Severson sent one over on a free ball, and Owens Lee gets up to block it. Nia Owens Lee with her first kill tonight. 23-20. The lead is 3 for Fargo North, trying to force a fourth set. Audrey Rydell back to serve for the Spartans. Serve on the way, back row. Tough play to make for Bybee, but she got to it. Euler will tip one across. Owens Lee making the pass. Back to the right for Pladsen, down for Pladsen. Lila Pladsen with her third kill, and the Spartans trying to finish strong. Set point for Fargo North to try to force a fourth. Audrey Rydell with 22 kills tonight for the Spartans. Rydell ready. Line drive serve. Severson was able to make a pass. It stays back row. Strom couldn't correct it. Severson will send it over. Set. Pladsen tipping. That one mishit. Central really has not had a strong lineup on the floor here in this sequence, if you think about it. Euler out there. Now Tollefson returns. Reardon still on the bench. They got caught in a rotation that really didn't favor them here. Lead cut to 3, however. 24-21. Severson serving. Gretchen Snowden comes up with a pass. Right side, Pladsen touched. Severson is there. Strom runs over to cover. Euler attacking. Audrey Rydell was there. Back to the right. Pladsen again. Strom making first contact. Euler back to the net will send one across. Rydell there. Owens Lee attacking. That's going to score. And North will send us to a fourth set tonight as the Spartans take home set number 4 by a score of 25-21. 2-1 after 3. We're on our way to the fourth in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more in a moment.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to GrandForksWelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
This is the KNOX Intermission Report, presented by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball. We'll play a fourth tonight as Fargo North rallies from down 2-0 to force a fourth set tonight, 25-21. In set number 3 this evening, the Spartans stay alive in this matchup this evening. Intermission report brought to you by our friends at Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water. A couple of looks at what happened in that second set tonight. Fargo North finding some offense rather early. Again, big play for Audrey Rydell. She's got 22 kills.
Reaching out to
at
make
this
the pass.
point.
Euler from the
for
attack
Fargo
line.
North. Knights down here,
digging one up.
and you see
Rydell
a back
from
row
the back
attack
row
from
owns
Audrey Rydell.
everything.
And just a couple of big
21
plays
for Audrey Rydell.
For Audrey Rydell, she's had a big run, 22 kills tonight. For Fargo North's Audrey Rydell, 8 more for Anna Halverson. For Central, 13 for J.C. Reardon, 10 for Marley Euler. Central still leading a set at 2-1. And now we will go to the fourth. Piper Severson, the libero, will step in. Our intermission report tonight brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. They're with you throughout the entire harvest season. Broken or twisted shafts, holes that need tightening, they've got you covered at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. The Men of Steel 1812 Gateway Drive. And brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. With a system from High Plains Water, you get the chemicals out and the taste into your water, and that's what you want at High Plains Water. No more scaly buildup around those fixtures. Appliances lasting longer. Swing by Marley Euler that will score for Grand Forks Central. And again, our intermission report brought to you by High Plains Water and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Marley Euler with 11. And J.C. Reardon will come into the matchup. Really, the Knights just struggled to find a side out when they needed one. They got stuck with J.C. Reardon on the bench for an inordinate amount of time in that third set. Euler lightening up on the serve. A back pedal to get to it. Halverson attacking from the outside. That will score. Anna Halverson with 9. Knights didn't put up much of a block on that. They were very good blocking that outside pin first couple of sets tonight, but there Anna Halverson just able to pick her spot. Meredith Pladson will step back to serve for the Spartans. Pladson serving, taking by Marley Euler. Set to the outside, Reardon down. J.C. Reardon with a big attack for Grand Forks Central. Reardon with 14. And it's 2-1 in favor of the Knights. Sydney Tollefson stepping back to serve. She's had her moments tonight for Grand Forks Central. Here's a pretty good serve and illegal contact coming up. Claire Carr kind of had to shovel that one up, trying to save one off the net. The Knights take a 3-1 lead here in the fourth. Tollefson ready to serve again. Line drive serve taken up. Carr will set Rydell. That one's down. Audrey Rydell, 23 kills tonight. Audrey Rydell, when she's had something that she could work with tonight, has been good. And when she hasn't had something to work with tonight, she's been pretty good. Let's just go ahead and put it that way. She's made some plays completely by herself, some balls that really a player should not have an opportunity to get a good swing on, and she's been able to do that. Here's one that hits the line from Anna Halverson for her second ace tonight. The Spartans have 5 aces this evening. They had some struggles serving. They've had 7 service errors tonight, but now back to 5 aces. And you keep that one pretty much a 50-50 statistic when you're serving aggressively and you feel like you've had something going the right way. Halverson serving again, this time covered by Hallie Kohlmeyer. Reardon from the outside trying to attack, went long. I wouldn't say there's been a palpable change in the match, but if there's been any sort of change that's been noteworthy, North has cleaned up their attack errors. Central has committed more than they did the first couple of sets. Serving the way from Halverson. Kohlmeyer reaching down to make the pass. Olmstead setting middle. Gowan tipping and scoring. Alexandra Gowan, 3rd kill tonight. Central just did not make errors the first couple of sets. Now that doesn't mean that they hit the ball and terminated, but it does mean that they made Fargo North make another play when they hit the volleyball in the first couple of sets. But in the third, early here in the fourth, maybe a couple getting away from them here and there. An attack from the right side coming from Lucy Rydell for Fargo North. Kohlmeyer from the outside for Central. Back to the outside and Rydell for North. That will score 24 tonight for Audrey Rydell. Lila Pladson will come in off the bench for the Spartans as the Spartans take a 5-4 lead here in the second set. Fourth. 2-1 in favor of Central on the all-true scoreboard. And Rydell serving. Kohlmeyer steps out to make a pass. Reardon having to wait for it. Sent to deep. Snowden had to reach up to get to it. Now Rydell tipping. Kohlmeyer steps into the middle to make that play. Reardon will push one towards the middle. North covers. Back out on top. A block coming against Rydell. Joust at the net. North keeps it afloat, tries to send one deep, too strong, too long. Point will go to the Knights. That will tie it up at 5. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by Rydell, or rather by All-True, my apologies. Brought to you by All-True. Regular screenings with All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. And now Andrea Hummel, the coach of the Spartans, sending Audrey Rydell over to the official a couple of times here for an explanation on that last play. I'm not sure if they felt the ball was touched or what the situation was, but nonetheless, the Knights will serve, and Bybee will step into the serve. Set to the middle, Pladsen attacking, stays back row. The Knights got a dig. Second contact tip from Strom. Back to the right side for Pladsen. Strom dug it up on the way through. Gowan will tip it back across to their back to the net. Set outside, Rydell into a block, gets right through the touch and scores it. 25 kills tonight for Audrey Rydell. 6-5, Fargo North. Spartans trying to send this to a race to 15 tonight. Audrey Rydell will step back to serve. Back row picked up there by Bybee. Set to the outside, Euler attacking. Snowden got to it. That's going to be, no, wow, they didn't call that. Okay, and an attack on the right side by Pladsen. That was sticky on that set. I looked immediately. I thought for sure that one was going to be hit with a double. And we've just guessed incorrectly on a handful of occasions tonight between us and our officials who see it much better than we do down there. Audrey Rydell serving. Piper Severson stepping back to try to make a pass. This stays in the back row. Euler will windmill one over. Short game to the middle. Owens Lee trying to tip. Central recovering. Euler back to the net will send over to Snowden for Fargo North. Back set right side, Pladsen through the net and wide. Point will go to Central on the air. Knights back within 1 at 7-6. And Sydney Tollefson will come back into the matchup for the Knights. Serve of the way from Piper Severson. Taken back row by Rydell. Pladsen getting through some traffic up front. Knights dig it up, pushed it back over with Euler. Snowden trying to set to Pladsen on the outside. Severson digs it up. To the right now, a tip by Sparts. The middle covered, back to the right. Pladsen attacking again. Severson sent it near the net. Strom somehow saved that. Tollefson attacks the middle. Here's a save by Pladsen and a free ball sent back over by the Spartans. And now it'll be a save from Euler into a joust, kept alive by North. Owens Lee sent it over. Illegal contact coming up against Tollefson. And the point will go to Fargo North to make it 8-6, Spartans by 2. Boy, with all that went on there, probably was some illegal contact before that even that could have been called. Trying to let the players make a play, you know what I mean? Snowden serving. Ball stays in the back row. Euler will send it over. Spartans lead by 2. Pass from Snowden. Halverson attacking and scoring. Anna Halverson with 10. Fargo North back up 3 by a score of 9-6 after 15 rallies here in the fourth set. And Gretchen Snowden will go back to serve for Fargo North and commits a service error. Coverage tonight brought to you by PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for painless shopping. If it's time for a new garage door, PS Garage Doors has you covered. Their warehouse located at 4733 Demers, right on the other side of the I-29 overpass in the industrial park in Grand Forks. They can help you take a look at a lot of models of garage door. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors. Halverson attacking and scoring. She's got 11. And the Spartans back up 3 by a score of 10-7 here in the fourth set. Claire Carr will come back into the matchup for Fargo North. And will do the serving here for the Spartans. Carr serving. Piper Severson got to it. Up front, tip down for Sydney Tollefson. When the Knights were rolling earlier, Sydney Tollefson was finding a way to contribute, and that element's been missing as of late for Grand Forks Central. They could use finding that one back. Tollefson scores to cut the lead to 2. 10-8, Fargo North on top. Marley Euler, 11 kills tonight, goes back for the Knights. Euler just barely clears the net. Snowden was able to make the play. Halverson from the outside down. Anna Halverson with 12. Spartans finding enough from their two leaders. 25 kills for Audrey Rydell, 12 for Anna Halverson tonight. 37 kills between those two this evening. Lead is 3. Pladsen serving. That one might have been going long. Kohlmeyer chose to play it. Severson will free ball one across. Back off to Audrey Rydell. That one going to go long. Error by Rydell. And the Knights are back within 2 at 11-9 here in the fourth. Alexandra Gowan comes back into the matchup for Central. And Piper Severson back to serve. Snowden backpedaling to get to it. Rydell, hard tip that's going to score. Just a push from Audrey Rydell. Didn't really have to swing at it. 26 kills tonight for Audrey Rydell. I'm not sure what the single match school record is for Fargo North, but because of the length of this match tonight, you would think Rydell's going to be in the neighborhood by the time this thing comes to an end. Halverson serving. Marley Euler stepping up to get to it. Reardon attacking. That will score. 15 kills for J.C. Reardon tonight. Trims the lead to 12-10 in favor of Fargo North here in the fourth set. 2-1. Grand Forks Central leading after 25-23, 25-21 wins tonight. Fargo North coming back for a 25-21 win in the third. Rydell blocked. It stays on the Fargo North side. Back off towards the right and attack deep. That will score for Lucy Rydell. Just her second kill tonight. Lila Pladsen will come back into the matchup for North. See a couple of the same family names, 2 Pladsens, 2 Rydells on the team, and Fargo North kind of has that same feel as a Grand Forks Central. A lot of family names. An ace that served for Fargo North. Lucy Rydell steps back to serve it up. That's her second ace tonight. And the lead grows to 4 for Fargo North at 14-10. Here in the fourth set, the Spartans looking for some separation here. Serve on the way again from Rydell. Pass coming from Kohlmeyer. Reardon up top will score. J.C. Reardon with 16. Lead trimmed to 3 at 14-11. Julia Bybee will come in as Reardon's position goes to the back row. And Bybee will serve for the Knights. 14-11. Grand Forks Central trailing Fargo North in the fourth, leading 2-1. Bybee serve, passed by Rydell. Back to Pladsen, hit the antenna. Lead cut to 2 at 14-12. And we'll see another serve coming here from Bybee. Well, if the Knights get one more back here, it starts to tighten up a little bit. Rydell a pass into the net, saved off the net. Owens-Lee will send it back over. And the Spartans got a break. Right side, a tip from Sparts and a pancake kept it afloat from Snowden. Rydell attacking, and now Kohlmeyer able to keep that up front. It'll come back to Euler trying to attack the middle. Rydell from the attack line, off the net, that will score. 27 kills for Audrey Rydell, and credit the libero Gretchen Snowden with a pancake to keep that alive. 15-12 your score, and we should see a media stoppage here, and we will. Timeout taken for media. 15-12, Fargo North leading Grand Forks Central by 3 here in the fourth set. We have a media stoppage here at Central High School for Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. We're back with more in a moment.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Media stoppage with Fargo North leading Grand Forks Central by 3, 15-12 here in set 4. And the Knights leading 2-1, but the Spartans, the team with momentum right now. Bybee sending one across on a free ball to the right side. Pladson swinging away. Brooklyn Strom was able to make a dig. Euler pushing hard to the middle, returned by Pladson for Fargo North. Back off to the near side. Euler through traffic and scoring. Grand Forks Central has 12 for Marley Euler tonight. 15-13. The Knights back within 2. What the Knights have been missing as of late is a block, and they haven't had many tonight. J.C. Reardon, Sidney Tollefson, Marley Euler each have 1. And a service error coming from Grand Forks Central. That will be the 5th against the Knights tonight. Again, the errors, they haven't piled up, but they have accumulated, let's put it that way, for the Knights here in the 3rd and 4th set. Lead back to 3 for Fargo North. Snowden serving. Deep serve, Knights a bit out of position, covered. Euler from the attack line. Rydell able to dig that up. Halverson in the middle, got through some traffic. A dive from Severson kept it afloat. Euler attacking. Snowden, big play. She's been big down the stretch. Pladson a tip. Contact from Euler first. Off to the right, Sparts gets blocked. Whistle, 4 contacts is the call. And the point will go to the Spartans. That'll make it 17-13 in favor of Fargo North on the all-true scoreboard. Spartans trying to push us to the distance tonight. And of course, we had a late start on top of everything else as a JV match went 3 sets tonight. Serve run down on the right side by Euler, tipped by Strom. Back to Halverson, who gets off the net and scores. Anna Halverson scores her 13th tonight. Vegan Construction with our match look-in tonight, brought to you by Vegan Construction, designers, builders, engineers. Nearly a century of doing quality work in the northern Red River Valley tonight. Match look-in brought to you by Vegan Construction. And right now, a 4-point lead as an 8th service error is committed by North. But the Spartans with 27 kills from Audrey Rydell, 13 more from Anna Halverson, and fighting back from down 2-0 to win the 3rd and leading here in the 4th, 18-14 behind big Knights from Rydell and Halverson to lead the way for Fargo North. They lead it by 4 in the 4th, and Halverson will get through a touch up front and score again. 14 kills for Anna Halverson. Lead back to 9 for Fargo North at 19-14. Claire Carr will step back to serve for for Fargo North. Carr standing ready. Kohlmeyer, tough pass. It stays alive. Kohlmeyer saves it on a free ball. Halverson steps to it, slides right pin and knocks one down. That's just Anna Halverson taking care of a play for Fargo North. You watch this again in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. The Knights save this. Halverson immediately calls her play. You could see it there. Slides right pin. Fargo North has not run that play tonight, and they run it the first time to perfection. And the lead is 6 at 20-14. Fargo North on top. Middle, Tollefson tipping left-handed and scoring. Tollefson with 6. Lead cut to 5 at 20-15. And J.C. Reardon will come back into the matchup for Grand Forks Central. They need a block from J.C. Reardon to do the Knights in the worst way. Marley Euler set to serve. Snowden goes down to make the pass. Saved off the net. Rydell will send it over on a free ball. Now the Knights have to score. Reardon will do so. Off a touch of the net, J.C. Reardon will score her 17th tonight. Lead cut to 4 at 20-16. Central leading 2-1 by virtue of 25-23, 25-21, first and second. North winning the 3rd, 25-21. Step back by Snowden to make the pass. Halverson tipping light, 4 contacts. Probably a double first, right? Well, they'll call it 4. Lead cut to 3 at 20-17. Now North with a couple of errors in a key spot. We'll see if the Knights can build momentum. Marley Euler stepping back to serve again. Hard serve, that's an error. 6 service errors for Grand Forks Central tonight. That's a tough one to give up, though. Trying to crawl back into the matchup, now back down by 4. Meredith Pladsen will step back to serve for the Spartans. Marla Euler steps into the pass. This will go back to the right. Tollefson tipping. A cover and sent off to the far side for Audrey Rydell. That one dug up on the near side by Severson. Reardon hanging and scoring on the back line. Reardon with 18. Knights back within 3 at 21-18. And the Central Knights will make a change here. Nora Presting is going to come into the matchup to replace Tollefson in the back row. So Nora Presting will step in. Presting, a freshman at 5'4". You would think in for service reasons here. Presting sends one over. Rydell making the pass. Set middle. Halverson blocked. Halverson able to keep it afloat. Comes back to Rydell. That one long. And the point will go to the Knights. Central gets back to within 2, and a timeout will be taken by Fargo North. So the Spartans will call for timeout. 21-19. Spartan lead is 2, and the Knights lead 2-1 in the matchup. This is set 4. We're back with more in a moment on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school volleyball. The Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Presting serving for Grand Forks Central. Rydell from the outside, down again. She's almost automatic. 28 kills tonight for Audrey Rydell. What play do you run out of the timeout? I mean, I think everybody knew it was coming with Audrey Rydell in the front row. Anna Halverson will go back to serve for Fargo North. The lead is 3 for the Spartans at 22-19. Serve on the way, taken by Marley Euler. We set to Reardon. She's blocked. Euler kept it afloat. It's over in front of the scorer's table. Olmsted got there. Euler tips it and scores. Fargo North late defensively. And the Knights get back to within 2 at 22-20. Brooklyn Strom will come back into the matchup. Strom will become the setter here in this sequence and will serve for the Knights. Serve to the middle, Pladsen a pass into the net, can't be saved. An ace for Strom. Lead cut to 1 at 22-21, and now a timeout will be taken by Fargo North. So the Spartans will call for timeout with the lead 22-21 in favor of Grand Forks Central. Timeout tonight for Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned and operated promotional shop in Grand Forks. They've got promotional items and apparel in their store on Demers in Grand Forks. And our timeout's brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, the #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. If you have tire trouble during this harvest season, they come to you to make sure you stay rolling. Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Our next matchup tomorrow night over at East Side, football. The Green Wave and Dilworth Glendon Felton, the Rebels. We'll have it for you, KNOX Live Sports, coming up tomorrow night, so join us. Pre-game coverage about 5:30, 6 o'clock with the kickoff tomorrow night from East Grand Forks Senior High School. And then on Thursday, yes, Thursday this week, Rough Rider football. They play early due to Teachers Convention. Fargo South comes to town. Big matchup in the EDC coming up on Thursday night. Served by Strom. Fargo North setting Rydell, having to wait for it, gets off the top of the net, and it's saved by Kohlmeyer. Back to the right, Gowan going down the line. Snowden put it near the net, blocked back down up front by Reardon. J.C. Reardon comes up with her 19th kill tonight. The Spartans a little lobbying there for an illegal attack. They don't get the call. We're even here in the fourth. Strom serving again. Snowden stepping back, set right pin, and through contact and scoring, Lucy Rydell has her third kill. 23-22, the Spartans come back with a big play to crack the tie. Audrey Rydell on the floor right now, and we'll see Lucy Rydell in the back row serving. Line drive serve, saved by Grand Forks Central. Kohlmeyer pitches to the back row. Set back to Rydell on the right side, that's down, actually from the outside. Rydell with 29, and Fargo North has set point after the comeback from Central, and we'll see a timeout taken by the Knights. Boy, the Knights appeared to have some momentum. You thought maybe they were going to close that out. Two quick ones from Fargo North have put Fargo North on the brink of sending us to set 5 tonight. Long night of volleyball downtown here in Grand Forks. Teachers Convention week this week, so a lot of these schools are going to have either Friday off or Thursday and Friday off. I see more schools are making the move to just Friday off. Not sure what that is about. A couple of schools that I follow to the west of us going to just Friday off, so I don't know if the teachers don't want 2 days for convention anymore or how that worked out, but maybe a little bit of a light week, that type of thing. Kids not really all honed in on school and that type of thing because the workload might be a little bit lighter this week. Here comes set point for Fargo North. Spartans trying to force a 5th set in this one tonight. If we go to set 5, we'll have our post-game report through the 5th set. They're going to want us out of here quickly tonight. Kohlmeyer making the pass, Reardon up top, attacking and scoring. J.C. Reardon with 20 kills. The Knights turn away 1 set point. They'll have to score with the serve to force us in to extra points tonight here in the 4th set. 2 sets to 1 Central. The Knights trailing 24-23 in the 4th. Julia Bybee back to serve for the Knights. And Bybee gets the go-ahead. Serve on the way from Bybee. Snowden steps into it. This will be set middle. Rydell attacking, will go to 5. Audrey Rydell with 30 kills tonight, and her 30th will send us to the 5th set. 25-23, Fargo North gets the win in the 4th. We're on our way to the race to 15 coming up. And again, our post-game report will take us through set 5 here tonight. So our 5th set will be our post-game report. Brought to you tonight by Spray Advantage, and also brought to you this evening by the Ski and Bike Shop. We'll come back with it in a moment. This is our coverage of high school volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Go to rivards.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
This is the KNOX post-game show. Brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and Spray Advantage.
Well, we welcome you to our post-game report tonight, which will also be our fifth set this evening, as this one's been a long one. Fargo North battles back to force a fifth set, winning set number 4 tonight by a score of 25-23. Our post-game report tonight brought to you by Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. The difference between Spray Advantage and their competitors is that Spray Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders. 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spray Advantage. Make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. And our post-game report this evening brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop. They've got the quality products to keep you moving any season of the year. Trek bikes, they are the best, the highest quality that you're going to find, the most versatile to use. They've got the accessories for those as well. Whether it's snowboard, skis, they'll get you fitted for boots. The Ski and Bike Shop bringing you our post-game report tonight as well. It's not often that we go to our post-game report while the match is going on, but I know how things get tidied up on a Tuesday night where the match is going to end around 10 o'clock. They're going to want us out of here fast tonight, so we'll start our wrap-up while we're here. Right now, Audrey Rydell, 30 kills for Fargo North, and Anna Halverson with 15, countering 20 from J.C. Reardon and 12 for Marley Euler. In a 2-2 matchup, North dropped the first 2, 25-23, 25-21, and then won the next 2, 25-21 and 25-23. So we are dead even all the way across in the total number of points scored in the match tonight. Each team has scored the same number of points this evening. By my math, that would be, 94? Each team has scored 94 points tonight. And we will race to 15 here in the 5th set this evening. Again, our 5th set and post-game report brought to you by Spray Advantage, everything for spraying and application on your farm, and the Ski and Bike Shop, quality products to keep you moving in Grand Forks. Fargo North will serve to start the 5th. Claire Carr will step back across the line and do the serving for the Spartans. And we're underway with set 5. Piper Severson stepping into the pass. Up front, the attack will not score. Good play by Snowden. Tollefson set that across, and Audrey Rydell from the back line ends up pushing it wide. Central takes the first point, 1-0. The Knights looking for their first win in the Eastern Dakota Conference tonight. You can see bottom of your screen, Central 0-9 in the league, Fargo North 3-8. Valuable matchup for both teams, certainly for Fargo North for positioning purposes, but Central playing for their first win of the EDC season. Pladson will send one over for the Spartans. Knights ready. Tollefson waiting, had to reach back and tip one over with their left hand. It's on the outside. Pladson into the net, block, 4 contacts, I believe is going to be the call. They're going to call it a block for Tollefson. Sydney Tollefson with her second block tonight. 6 kills, a pair of blocks for Tollefson. Central leads 2-0. Marley Euler stepping back to do the serving. Euler serve, a dive by Audrey Rydell. Covered it, Halverson right side, slide again to the pin. Central this time waiting. Reardon gets through contact and scores. Reardon with 21 kills. Central takes a 3-0 advantage here in the 5th. And Marley Euler will step back to serve for the Knights. Central will need Reardon to be active here in this 5th set. Snowden with a pass. Halverson having to tip, blocked by Reardon. J.C. Reardon goes up with her second block tonight. It's 4-0 in favor of the Knights, and Fargo North wants a timeout. The Spartans call for a stoppage. 4-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central here in the decisive 5th set. Timeout for Apex Apparel and Big Jim's Tire. We're back with more in a moment in Eastern Dakota Conference Volleyball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. Pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. SprayAdvantage.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
The Ski and Bike Shop proudly supports our local high school athletes on the field, the court, and beyond. Just like sports, adventure starts with the right gear. The Ski and Bike Shop, where your next adventure begins.
4-0 Grand Forks Central here in the 5th. A timeout taken by Fargo North. Marley Euler serving. Audrey Rydell makes the pass. Halverson right pin blocked. J.C. Reardon is all over the place here in this fifth set. J.C. Reardon kind of went away in the middle of this matchup, but you knew the Knights would need her. And here she just tracks Anna Halverson out to the right pin and eats her up with a block. And Grand Forks Central takes a 5-0 lead here in this fifth set. Tough play here for North. They can't save one. Pass goes near the net, 6-0 in favor of Central. The Knights take the first 6 rallies of the fifth set. And Marley Euler will step back to serve for Grand Forks Central. Euler lightens up on the serve. A step into it by Pladsen. Back row to Audrey Rydell. Kohlmeyer dug it up. Long run to get to it for Olmsted. Reardon attacking, hit it wide. And the point will go to the Spartans. So the Spartans get a side out that they badly needed. Knights lead 6-1. Meredith Pladsen will step to the back and serve for Fargo North. Pladsen ready, serve on the way. Euler steps into the pass. Set Reardon, attacking down. J.C. Reardon. 22 for J.C. Reardon tonight. Audrey Rydell with 30 for Fargo North. J.C. Reardon trying to make her presence known when the match is on the line here in the fifth set. She's had a great front row rotation to start this fifth. Piper Severson serving, service error. Number 7 for Grand Forks Central tonight. Again, the lead checked to 5 at 7-2. Anna Halverson goes back to serve for Grand Forks Central, rather for Fargo North. Halverson with 15 kills of her own tonight. Halverson standing ready. Serve on the way, far side. Piper Severson got to it. Rowan Olmsted will set Reardon through contact again. J.C. Reardon again will score. J.C. Reardon has been amazing here in this fifth set. Another look at it in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. You need a side out. There's Reardon from the outside. And J.C. Reardon, one of those 9 seniors right now, trying to put the team on her back. Lead is 6. Audrey Rydell into the net on an error. 9-2 your score, and another timeout taken by Fargo North. The Spartans down 9-2 in the fifth. Central and North tied 2 sets apiece. Even points all the way through. We're back with more in a moment on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, GrandTrailersSales.com.
Rivals on the ice, united in the stands, and everyone's geared up from Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Hockey gear, fan apparel, Nodak Pride, we've got it all and more. Locally owned, 1004 South Washington Street. Shop local, shop Jarrell's.
9-2, Grand Forks Central leading over Fargo North tonight here in the fifth. Tied at 2, obviously even points through the first 4 sets between these two teams tonight. Central jumping out to a lead here in the fifth set. Marla Euler returns one. Owens Lee making the pass, and Audrey Rydell gets stuffed at the net. It'll stay back on the Central side. Claire Carr sent it over. Reardon from the middle will swing and score. Reardon is absolutely unstoppable in this fifth set. 24 kills for J.C. Reardon, and she is just wrecking this Fargo North defense right now here in the fifth. And now another conversation between Audrey Rydell and our R1 tonight. And I think what Andrea Hummel was talking about with the R2 this evening is that for the first 3 sets, there were a ton of calls stepping over the line, and the reaction coming there from assistant coach Greg Carlo was one of frustration. And the conversation over kind of works as a pseudo timeout for Fargo North. Strom serving. Snowden in the back row to get to it. Up front, Rydell tipping middle. Brooklyn Strom was there. Set to the right, Gowan trying to tip deep. Covered onto the back row by Platson. Back to Rydell. Blocked at the net. Reardon again. Oh my goodness. 4 blocks now for J.C. Reardon to go with her 24 kills. The lead is 9 for Grand Forks Central at 11-2. And this 5th set has been just poetic for J.C. Reardon and Grand Forks Central. Set middle, Rydell, that time over a block. Strom can't dig that. And the point will go to Audrey Rydell, who has her 31st kill tonight for Fargo North. So that time Rydell avoiding the block. Now Central can feed Reardon one more time. I believe Reardon has to rotate to the bench on the next rotation. They'll set her from the outside. Court wide, she'll score. Reardon with 25. Reardon scores her 25th, and she'll go to the substitution zone. So the Knights will have to get it done with J.C. Reardon over on the bench after one of the best sets that she has ever played in her career. And she gets a round of applause from the Central faithful that are here tonight. The lead is 9 for Central at 12-3. Serve on the way from Bybee. Snowden backing into the pass. Rydell down the middle scoring. Rydell with 32. Lead cut to 8 at 12-4. Marley Euler becomes the leading offensive weapon up front now for Grand Forks Central, but if they rotate enough to get Reardon back into the game, the game's over. Service error by Fargo North, and it's Audrey Rydell that commits it, the 9th service error of the night for the Spartans. And it's now 13-4, Central by 9 again. Alexandra Gowan will step off the floor, and we'll see the return of Nora Prusting for Grand Forks Central. 9-point lead for Grand Forks Central in the 5th set. Serve on the way. Prusting sends it over. Snowden makes the pass. Set right pin. Deep push by Platson. Prusting able to dig it up. To the right, it's Mueller. Hit it long. Central wants a tip call. And the line judge over here has the tip call. That will be a kill for Marley Euler. A tip called on the near side by the line judge. 13 kills for Euler tonight, and it's match point for Grand Forks Central. The Knights looking to take home their first win of the Eastern Dakota Conference season, and Audrey Rydell will come over and have one more conversation with our R1. And I think Tom Stokey, our R1, has had enough of those conversations tonight. 10-point lead for the Knights in the 5th. Prusting serving. A ball kept alive by Owens-Lee. Free ball comes back across. It's wide on the return from Fargo North, and the Knights will win it. Grand Forks Central will win the 5th set and take home their first Eastern Dakota Conference victory of the season here tonight at Central High School. Your final score on the All True scoreboard tonight will be Grand Forks Central 3, Fargo North 2, 25-23, 25-21, 21-25, 23-25, 15-4. A quick look at the highlights in this one as our post-game report brought to you tonight by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. And the Ski and Bike Shop, getting you ready for all things for all seasons at the Ski and Bike Shop. Again, our 5th set has become our post-game report tonight, brought to you by the Ski and Bike Shop and by Spring Advantage. Highlights in this one tonight: Grand Forks Central getting a good start tonight from Marley Euler. Euler in the opening set, a kill there for Marley Euler, and then another kill coming up later for Euler as well. Marley Euler fueling things in the early going from that outside pin. And then later, we would see Audrey Rydell take this thing over for Fargo North tonight, who finishes with 32 kills this evening. She's the reason why North was in this matchup tonight. You can see what she was due. But in the 5th set, this was all about J.C. Reardon, who ends up finishing with 25 kills and 4 blocks tonight. There's one for Reardon, getting that one down. And then later on tonight, J.C. Reardon in this 5th set with the Knights pulling away. Great swing and score. J.C. Reardon ends up coming up with a huge night tonight for Grand Forks Central in the 5th, and they win it by a final score of 15-4. Player awards tonight is our post-game report brought to you by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. Spray Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders. 2 locations to serve you, Grand Forks and St. Thomas. And the Ski and Bike Shop. They'll keep you moving all season long. The Ski and Bike Shop with truck bikes, the high-quality truck bikes that you're looking for, along with snowboards and snow skis, and they'll fit you for the right boots to keep that moving in the right direction as well at the Ski and Bike Shop. Player of the Game Award tonight brought to you by PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. That's 772-DOOR for PS Garage Doors in Devils Lake and Grand Forks. It's got to be the run from J.C. Reardon at the end of the night tonight. 25 kills for J.C. Reardon. That will put her over 200 for the season. She registers 4 blocks. 3 of those came in the 5th set tonight. J.C. Reardon just went out and single-handedly put this match away for Grand Forks Central in the 5th set tonight. And J.C. Reardon will win our PS Garage Doors Player of the Game Award. Our Finest Auto Trim, Finest Cover of the Game is brought to you tonight by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim specializing in the recovery of vehicle and marine seats. If you need those boat seats recovered, touched up so that they can be as nice looking and as well supporting as you need for ice out next year, now's the perfect time to take that boat to Finest Auto Trim and let them recover those seats. They'll create custom covers for things that you need to protect outside as well. Things like power generators and AC units, they can custom create covers for those. And it's got to be a great play from J.C. Reardon. Let's just go ahead and show you a block. J.C. Reardon's going to win that award tonight as well. Reardon with some stuffs in that 5th set that were just unbelievable tonight, and she's going to win that Finest Auto Trim, Finest Cover of the Game Award this evening. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage of high school volleyball. Tomorrow night, it's football, East Grand Forks and Dilworth Glendon Felton. We'll have it for you from senior high school coming up tomorrow night. Central wins it 3-2, 25-23, 25-21, 21-25, 23-25, 15-4 for KNOX Live Sports. I'm Ryan Cunningham saying so long, everybody.